What's up, dude? Oh my god, I look like such a creep. This is amazing. Alright. I think, wait, hold on. I gotta fucking turn on. Oh god. Oh man. Alright. Is that better? Horror face! Oh, this water's bad. You ever had bad water and you're just like, damn. That was not good water. But I got cherry coke. Oh! Watch me open cherry coke live on cam. I'm gonna open it with a letter opener and get banned. Just drink cum. Cherry cum. Cherry cola. What's up, guys? What the fuck are you guys up to? I'm pissed today. I don't know why. Just for those few seconds, I got pissed. Consider turning down video settings. Encoding overload? What is an encoding overload? I don't know all this nerd stuff. Am I looking... Can you guys see me? Yeah, you can see me. You guys can see me, right? What's even happening? Okay, cool. On my... if I look at OBS, obviously everything's fine, but when I look at the actual Twitch website, it's still the Amato thumbnail. I don't know why. I'm ghetto as fuck. You know what? If there's gonna be issues, my computer's gonna fucking have the issues. So, encoding overload, it's probably just for me, specifically. Miramax, like the, is that a movie production company or something? Comp Warren, dude. Any fucking second, my comp's gonna be Warren. I got this fan right on it. Hopefully it's not too much of a for you guys. It's me, Max. Well, that makes sense. But the way you spell it, it's like Happy Max, Miramax, like merriment. I dig it. You're probably thinking about Miramax. Yeah, Miramax, that's what I was thinking about. Magic Max. So what are you guys doing today? What have you been doing this last week? You went to school? You not in school? What are you doing? What are you guys fucking up to? It's like ZeniMax Online Studios. Yeah, I guess it is. Want to see my stupid school card? No, my picture's too bad. I look like I don't know what's going on because I didn't know what was going on. And there's a fat number under me, under the picture of me. I don't know if that's important. I don't know if you could screw me if you have that number. I've been learning about databases and networks, and it's ugh. Yeah, it sounds ugh, dude. I would hate that. I would hate that. You joined a film circle at your university. I'm still a bum. Not being in college. Well, that's okay, man. Only next month, what? You'll be in college? Give us your credit card number. Alright, man. You can have my credit card number, but you're not going to be able to... It'll probably just, like, get declined. It gets declined half the time when I use it, and I don't even, like, you know. Yeah, college starts next month. Alright, sweet. Did you figure out desktop audio for stream? What do you mean? Like audio that can come out of my computer? That's what I did for the music. I mean, I just had a media source or whatever. But I don't know, dude. I gotta get a whole fucking... I need to get a bigger hard drive. Oh, I need lots of RAM. I need shitloads of RAM. 1 terabyte of RAM. We did the mile today. The mile. Like, you ran a mile? Dude, I used to run like 2 miles every day, and now I don't, because I moved, and now there's like no good places to to run. No, last time when you were drunk, I linked you how you have to set up desktop audio because it's done. Oh yeah, I forgot all that because I was drunk. It's in your DMs on Discord. All right, I will look at that henceforth and try to figure it out. Yeah, I gotta do that. I do want to stream games, but I'm just not. I'm gonna have an amnesia. I'm always having amnesia. My whole life is like one big fucking, yeah. The dark stream of last time. The drunk stream of last time. I don't even, can you fill me in? I don't even remember exactly what we talked about. But Fenny wants to know. Fenny's very sad that I deleted it. But, I've forgotten everything. I hate my hair right now. That's why I had the sunnies, just to keep my hair back. I don't even use my sunglasses, it just keeps my, there we go. There we go, look at that. Now my you can see my head shape for what it is. It's weird, it looks weird. And now all the weight is back here. It looks good. Cranny poop! How much of a boomerang? You were just complaining about modern culture. For a drunk guy, you were amazingly articulate. Thank you, dog. I tried to be. You look like a trash truck. You look like an egg. I do have an egg head. It's pretty dank. Yeah, I remember when I worked at Harkins, I had to wear a hair cap, and I looked like an asshole. My hair is pretty much as long as yours on end, and I have the exact same problem. LMAO. Yeah, dude. No, these specific kind of sunglasses that kind of like they like curve evenly like that. You gotta get that because then it just turns into like a hair thing. You can just, there it goes. My hair is like as long as yours, Emmett. No, it's not. Yours is longer than mine. Squidward, Emmett. Isn't your hair longer than mine? Brony poo. Unless you got a haircut recently. Crony poo. I'm not drunk, son. It's only almost 2 p.m. I don't have any alcohol right now. It's expensive, dude. I can't waste my money on alcohol as much as I would like to. I got a cherry Coke right now. The last, I think it's the second to last from the 6-pack I bought. I gotta cherish it. I gotta savor it. Oh man, I got three things right here. I got cherry Coke. I got water, always good. I have 2 empty Yellowtail bottles. Thank you. Please send me Yellowtail. And then I got my Whalen Jutani black coffee. How much do I usually spend on alcohol for 1 week? I don't know. I don't notice prices of shit because I'm not good with finances. But I don't know, man. I feel like every week, well, not recently, but usually every week I'd buy like 1 bottle of Yellowtail. And that wasn't much. I want to say it's around like $10 or something. And then every other week I'd buy like a 6-pack of beer, and that was, I don't know, how much is beer? It wasn't like super fancy beer. Modelo Negra. I think we've mentioned that one on the games, on the Let's Plays before. That's my go-to beer. But if not, Modelo Negra. If you don't want like a dark beer, Rolling Rock is really good. I like Rolling Rock. But I don't know. Some people are like, I don't know. Well, the Modelo Negra is a dark beer. I mean, it says it in the name, right? But is Rolling Rock dark? Rolling Rock isn't dark. Rolling Rock was like fucking water, dude. Yeah, honestly, he's the guy who got me into it. I used to watch AVGN constantly. Me and Max, like, that's really the only reference we had when he started doing the Let's Plays was like his shit. Obviously, ours aren't like him. No one does it like him, dude. He's so like, he's on another level. But the only video game YouTuber we watched like consistently was Angry Video Game Nerd, dude. He's fucking legendary. And yeah, he's always drinking the Rolling Rock, and I saw it at the store one day, and I just decided to get it. Oh my God, Bjorn! Come on, what are you doing, dog? Save your money. Save your money. Yeah, man. His remember a long time ago, whenever he came out with that Superman 64 video, that was a shit. Me and Max had a tradition of like watching his videos around Christmas, and he did have a lot of Christmas specials, but we would just go on like a fucking marathon watching AVGN on like Christmas Eve because we would go to a Christmas Eve mass at night, like an evening mass. Jules, did you leave? What are you, oh, you're just saying that because I said, oh, come on. All right. You're sweet. I appreciate it. But no, yeah, we'd come back from mass every year, and for some reason, our mom would always make like tamales. We had Christmas Eve tamales. That's what you do in Arizona for Christmas. You eat tamales. And we'd eat our tamales, and we'd watch like 3 or 4 AVGN episodes. And that was our little ritual for like 5 years, every Christmas. And I remember he came out with like a DVD version of like the first season of his show, and I got that for Max for one of his birthdays. I like that shit. No one ever does that anymore because it's like, what's the point? But it's still cool. It's cool to have like this physical copy of his stuff, and there was like bonus footage on it and stuff like that, if I remember correctly. That stuff is really fun. This shit is so fun, dude. I love hot tamales. Oh, the candy. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about those. You had real straight up tamales, though. They're pretty good. The legit Mexican food down here is like the best part of Arizona. Tamales, the food, are the best. I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. Oh, man. My Twitch stream screen is still the thumbnail. That's so funny. I can stream, but I can't watch my own streams. Alright, so you guys are... One of you is learning computer shit. Jules, you're learning computer shit. Yeah, it's playing. It's muted. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Just fucking... I don't know, dude. All my shit doesn't work right. Come on. The other side of the pond. I don't know what the pond is. Maybe I'm an idiot, but I don't know what that's referring to geographically. Have you tried turning your computer on? Yeah, I probably honestly don't turn my computer on and off again. Like, I sleep it and shit, but I don't shut it down enough. But I should. It's a good, yeah. Oh. Okay, fresh. It's a big pond. It's a big-ass pond. Ugh. So 2 of you are actually doing computer shit, because Fenny, you're doing computer shit, right? And Jules is too. And then, I think Water Packs, you're going to be doing film in a month. I just got, well, I'm not totally finished. I have one history class tomorrow. I just almost finished the week with, I don't know who Water Packs is, but he's a good man. Alex, oh hey Alex, it's Alex Amato. Everyone, round of applause. You got the real Alex Amato on the stream. Very excited. But yeah, I just finished my first week back at a music school. Some of it's, I don't know, man. I've never been like an intellectual. I've never been enjoyed being intellectually challenged, and you know, I don't know. It just blows my mind whenever I'm like walking down the hallways. Kids are actually like, they're like discussing like professors. They're talking about professors like they're their friend. Oh, I love Dr. So-and-so, they're so cool, and then they're talking about like their classwork, like they're really into it, you know. It's so weird. I'm still of that high school mindset where I just want to like do it as quickly as possible and get it over with. And I don't know, it's weird. All these kids are like, they're in it, dude, you know. I don't know. I don't know, here and there have been certain semesters. There was a couple years ago where I was doing really good, but I still, like, I didn't want to. It was, yeah, I know, I admire them too. Like, I can't, like, I don't give a shit. I don't get it. So it's a different, like, way of thinking. But yeah, there's a few semesters ago where I got a bunch of, like, scholarships and shit, and I was doing really well. But even then, I don't know, something just clicked towards the beginning of that semester, and I was like, all right, you gotta kind of accept that everything else that's going on in your life was going on. You gotta fucking, like, throw it away, put it on the back burner, postpone it. The PayPal pictures of yeah, it's saying buy my PayPal. Give me money. Please give me money. You want to give me money? I know you do. It's nice. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's it's so counterintuitive because I recorded so much music this last summer because I knew that even though I'm a music composition major, I knew that as soon as school started, I wouldn't be making any music. Because the music, right, and you can't, I don't know. I guess at some point when you get farther up, to like a higher tier, you can write whatever you want, but I'm still that undergraduate place where they give you very specific assignments, and all the even like the music composition assignments right now, it feels more like you're doing algebra than writing a piece of music. And it's like I get it. I don't know. If you guys, I mean, I don't think anyone really knows about the state of like academic composition, but it's really weird. It's really weird right now. It's very. It's like all this post-atonal stuff, where there's still, it's traditional in the sense that in how it's orchestrated, where there's like almost a singular melody or a singular melody being carried by multiple instruments or whatever, and then there's harmonies and rhythms and stuff, but tonally it's not really allowed to sit in the key, and a lot of what you're supposed to base your melodic figures and everything on are like a certain set of rules. If you have your original melody, and then there's different things you can do to it. You can retrograde it, which just essentially literally means you take that melody and you put it in reverse. So it's almost like you're rewinding a song. That would be retrograde. And then inverting it would be, it's like a Rorschach image of it. So if like say the Star Wars theme, when it goes up, if it goes up, the inversion goes down. So if Star Wars is like ba 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 ba, then the inversion would be ba 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 ba, ba, right? It goes in the opposite direction. It's weird. So that's inversion, and then what the fuck is the other one? Oh yeah, transposition. So I mean, it's essentially just like changing the key, but since there's no keys in this music, it's really like the starting pitch is what's most important in the melody, and then it goes from there. So yeah, I mean, you're literally just transposing it. If the beginning of the Star Wars theme is like C, G, F, E, D, C, G, then then you just essentially put it in a different key. And so those three things are like what you're supposed to do to the pieces you write, but you're not allowed to write in full-on keys. You're supposed to write in like note sets. The way they described it was like partial modes. So you can't even do a full mode. You have to, and there's different parameters for different pieces. Sometimes it's just a 3-note set, so you gotta deal with just 3 notes, and then you can transpose those 3 notes. So if your 3 notes are like C, D, G, then you can transpose it to like its equivalent in the key of E would be like E, F sharp, B, or something like that. And I get it in the beginning that they want you to start small, like see what you can get the most out of with 3 notes and like just a flute. Like you can't use any other instrumentation. It's got to be like for solo flute or whatever. But I don't know. That seems like intro shit. Like when I came back, I've come back as a junior, and I would have thought they'd be letting us kind of do what we want to do by now, but not quite yet. Because I remember, I mean, and this was good in the first, well, really the first year, the first 2 semesters. They had us write like one piece for every major genre. So like a Baroque thing, a classical thing, an impressionist thing, a romantic thing, and then modern shit, 12-tone stuff. And that was good. That was good to sort of see what it was broadening our horizons in terms of writing styles and stuff. But I don't know. I just feel like I'm never gonna get to the point where they believe that I have something to give, rather than telling me that this is what you need to know how to do. Because it's really I don't like that whole technical way of thinking about it. Like, leave the math to mathematicians. It's not cool because there's like equations and shit involved. It doesn't necessarily make it. I don't know. I don't get it. It's cool. It's cool to write with and have technical ideas, but I don't like the idea of having a strict set of rules that really takes the reins for a whole piece of music. I mean, music is supposed to be expressive and intimate and emotional, and having like literally just like equations you're supposed to follow to write the music kind of removes your ability to express sufficiently. Too much blend of science and art. I mean, it's cool. There's some guys who do it really well. There's one composer I really, really like who started. The first stuff he wrote was he was also a math major. He was a double major in math and composition. And the first big stuff he wrote was all based on like literal math equations. And finally one day he kind of like snapped out of that. He was like, wait, this is kind of interesting for me as a mathematician, but I don't know if as a standalone piece of music this was really good or makes sense. So he kind of, I mean, he's fucking amazing. He's one of my favorite composers. If you guys don't know who he is, Paul Schoenfield. He's good as fuck, dude. He's like one of my top 5, I gotta say. And he's still alive. He's a math professor at some university. But yeah, one day he just snapped out of it. Now he does jazzier stuff, but he still orchestrates it in like a modern classical way. And those two things coming together is so cool. Check out his senilities. This is like classical stuff takes longer, right? So senilities right is one piece. I think it's like 7 minutes and 30 seconds. But listen to the whole thing if you have time. Fucking like unbelievable piece of music. So good. That piece is from a set of 4 pieces. They're all really good, but senilities right is like I mean, they're all amazing, but yeah, I don't know, man. And then he did a more vaudeville set called Cafe Music. It's also really good, but that's more just like classic, something you would hear at like a 1920s bar or something. Emmett, if you set up your audio, you could just play it for us. PP. Oh, I could, yeah, but no, I want you guys to listen to it unhindered by my stupid face and just give it your full attention, if you so choose. I don't want this to be like, I don't know. Listen to me dissect these pieces of music. Because that's what I've been listening to people do all week. I posted the stream on the Reddit. Oh, you posted the stream on the Reddit? Shit. I'm not doing anything. I always feel so guilty. I'm just sitting here talking. Every mathematician I have met was a great person. Yeah, no, me too. Some of my best friends who are also, I think by far the most talented musicians I know, are really smart mathematicians. But they've never written anything in their life. They're amazing amazing performers. But I don't know. Everyone's got something to bring to the table. I can't read sheet music to save my life. I've never been able to. Well, I mean, I can, but I'm not one of those people who can like sit down, be given something up front, and then just fucking. I can't do that. I'll never be able to do that. But that's fine, because everyone I know who can do that, when you ask them to like improv or write something, they like don't know what to do. And I have another buddy who's really amazing pianist, amazing sight reader, and like one of the nicest guys. And he did try to write like something, and it wasn't that good. I mean, I love him, but it was just there was nothing. I don't know. There's no clear idea. It was, yeah, I don't know. So, but I mean, everyone's got their thing, and I'm comfortable with the fact that I think I can write. I can write good stuff, I think, but I'm not. I really don't. I just generally don't like performing. Um, I've never enjoyed performing in front of people, but I love making music, writing it, creating it. But all the technical shit, I'm not good at. So when people always talk about how the math brain is also a good, going to be good at music, that's really math brain are probably going to be good performance majors and stuff. But I don't know, they're not necessarily going to be great compositionists and theorists and so forth. Yeah, and even if you got you're like attacking it from multiple angles, because there was a girl in my theory class years ago who had perfect pitch. She was also really good at math and yeah, amazing sight reader, really good pianist. She played a lot of lists, like really tough list shit when I was there. And she was so bad at theory, like so bad. She never understood any of the concepts. It got to the point where I would just like literally after every theory assignment, I just like at first, it was like, oh, I need help, and then it turned into like, oh, I couldn't get to it. Can you please, kind of just show me the homework real quick, and I'll compare it with mine. And then by the end of the semester, it just got to the point where I screened like without being prompted to, I'd just take a picture of the homework and send it to her, and then she would copy it. But like whenever she got called on in class, she didn't know what was going on. Obviously, the oral perception stuff, she was fine. And oral perception is like when you're given a piece of music and you have to just the sheet music, and then you got to read it, or like if they play a chord on the piano and you have to tell them what kind of chord that is, or if you have to sing intervals back to them, so they'll give you a C and they'll be like, sing a major 7 up from the C. She's be fine at that because all the notes are like in her head. When you have perfect pitch, you just know what shit is, right? So she was fine with that, but when it came to the concepts, she didn't know anything. So I don't know. Everyone's got their thing, and I think everyone's trying to be like. It's funny because yeah, music is like one subject, but you can still. There's obviously still specialties within that subject, and I think what a lot of colleges still try to do, which is not that great, is make you like a jack of all trades when that's not always going to be realistic. Bro, I had to take oral skills, and that was AIDS. That was the hardest music class for me. Right, like I did fairly well because I think my ear's good. But yeah, I mean, if you're like a better performer, you're probably better at sight reading and all that jazz. Yeah, dude, I don't know. I just want to get it done. I want to get it fucking done. Feels like a chore. It does. And I know in the long run it's going to be good for me, but it's never been an enjoyable thing. Man, I love music. Used to play it in high school. Wouldn't want to make it my life. I wouldn't want to make it my job. I'd say that. I think it's one of the things in my life that I am most excited about when I'm actually doing it. Like whenever we're recording one of my songs that I post on YouTube and shit, that whole process is like I'm not as engaged in anything, I don't think, than like being with good musicians that are also friends and making my music, as vain as that might sound. That's just what I want to do. But if you make it like a literal job, like I wouldn't want to be like a performer. I don't know, being like a strings player in an orchestra might be fun. Might be okay, but it wouldn't be like, I wouldn't want to make that my main focus. But I don't know, man. I need more music in my life. I only feel home to dream of you. Can you recommend something? Oh, thanks, man. You like that tune? I try to write, lately I've been trying to write stuff that feels like an old jazz standard. They're just a standard in general, but isn't, obviously. But yeah, so that was like, I had like Sinatra vibes in my head when I wrote that one. And so I don't know if you like that, man. Listen to Frank Sinatra, I guess, because that was like the kind of thing I was going for. I mean, I don't mean that like I think I'm as good a singer as him, obviously, but in terms of the stuff he used to sing primarily, I was going for that kind of thing. And the new song I'm coming out with that it'll be up on my main YouTube channel as soon as my recording bunny as soon as my recording bunny finishes mastering it. As soon as my recording buddy finishes mastering it, it's going to be up on my YouTube channel. It's more of I don't know if you guys know who Django Reinhardt was. Django Reinhardt and Stefan Grappelli were I don't know my history too well, but thank you, Choppy Poo. I should be writing Amazon High. I'm going to do that probably later today. But anyway, Django Reinhardt was like this famous guitarist. He was from like I want to say the 30s. You hear him a lot in the background in like BioShock and shit. And no, Django Reinhardt, is that a character in Overwatch? This Django Reinhardt was a famous guitarist. I don't know if there's. Oh man, that stuff like weighs on my soul. Apparently, that TV show JoJo has a bunch of music references. Like, there's a character. This doesn't even make any sense. Animes are so they don't make any sense. They make me pissed. There's a character named Funny Valentine. That's a song. That's an old jazz. Well, it's not originally a jazz song, but it became a jazz song. My Funny Valentine. That's a beautiful song. And when I was teaching piano and voice, that's one of the main songs I would teach to my voice students because it's a great song. And every time I would assign it, they would be like, "Oh, is that from JoJo?" And I'd be like, "No." And but I also charted and transcribed all the fucking intro themes to JoJo for one of my students. So don't dox me. I was a nice guy. They're actually interesting. The theme songs for each of those seasons or whatever is pretty. They're good. I don't know. Japanese composers in general are way more interesting, I think, than a lot of the music in general that is out these days. But I don't know. It's always sort of disheartening when there's like, everyone hates it when there is something that's been around a while, that's considered sort of a classic, timeless thing, and then it gets attached to something in pop culture, and I can't speak today. And then people feel like that's like perverse, it's not good that you know about, I don't know, My Funny Valentine or Queen. There was another bad guy named Killer Queen or something, and I don't know, like from the band Queen, that song. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't get it. I don't get the joke. Everything is a JoJo reference. Well, I know everything in JoJo is almost supposed to be like a reference to something else, right? But I don't know. I don't get. If you play anything in the same size or form or more. Oh man. Do you know Goodbye Pork Pie Hat? No, I don't. What is that? Is that a good tune? I play jazz. Yeah, Japanese composers are way out there. I think because they're not told that they have to write 12-tone rows all the time. I'm a lead. Charles Mingus. Oh yeah, we have to. No, I only know the stuff that everyone knows about Charles Mingus. But actually, I think one of the seminars we're having in composition this year is about Charles Mingus. So that'll be cool. Fists of the North Star. Aren't there? Doesn't JoJo constantly reference Fists of the North Star? That's what I've heard, at least. Mingus is my fave. I like me some Mingus. Do you like the Lounge Wizards? I don't know the Lounge. I don't know what that is. I don't know a lot of stuff, guys. I get very I'm very like obsessive. I zero in on one thing. So those people who like know this massive library of music in their heads, that blows my mind. If there's a song I really like, I'll listen to it religiously for like months and months and months and months until I'm like sick of it and I know it backwards and forwards. So I know like a small pool of music really well, but I'm not this guy who like listens to a lot of shit because I don't know. It takes me a while to really like get something, and it sounds different every time you listen to it. You know, and you pick up on different things, and so yeah, if there's something I like, I listen to it a lot, but I can't. It's almost like it's like sensory overload listening to like too much stuff. And I think that's why I've been stressed in school too, because before school even started, we got emailed this like 2-page listening list of shit we got to listen to, and it's just like overwhelming. A lot of it's really good. A lot of it I have heard before. There's like Debussy on there and Gershwin, who I love. Gershwin's Dank AF. Who's Victini? Hey Victini, what's cracking? I have many albums in my library, but I usually have like 5 songs. Right? Yes, same with me. I know Don't Stop Me Now, Queen by heart, as well as We Didn't Start the Fire, Billy Joel. Emmett, you have 29 viewers. Is that good? That's pretty good, right? Don't forget to scroll down and check out PayPal NP. Oh, man. My mom's boyfriend owns a recording studio. His collection of music is crazy. Him and his son just walk around for hours about ways and ways a day. Yeah, all those like music historians and shit. I don't know. I know that music context is important with a lot of music, like historical context and all that, but I don't know, son. I just care about the raw music. I don't really care when it was written or why. If it's good, it's good. It's good. I don't care. I don't know. I know I should, but again, that's why I'm not an intellectual. You think Biggie was a closet theory scholar? I think he was. Connie Boo, I love you. I'm also Jordan. You might recognize me from Twitter YTIDK. Maybe, yeah. Sightless. Do you find current social mores? What? Is this the sentimentality of Sinatra, Crosby, et al. Translate to modern day? Or do you think modern culture or norms are malleable enough to make music genuine? That's a very... I'm gonna think about that for like an hour. I think you just broke my brain. I'm really tired right now. Okay, do you think social mores curtail... Okay, hold on. That's okay. Curtail your writing anyway. No. I mean... I know that there's... I don't know. The only way I know what to do, people laugh because I stopped talking. I don't know. The only thing I have to say about that is, yeah, a lot of the times people will come at me saying, like, hey, you should write more like this, or you should do covers more of popular songs, or you should... I don't know, man. Yeah, like just like use more popular instrumentation, like and have better production and all that stuff. But I think, I mean, the more I write music, the more I realize, and I don't even necessarily mean this in a good way or a bad way. It's just kind of neutral. But the more I've written songs and so forth, the more I realize that my shit really isn't like anything else exactly. I mean, I said I've been trying to write like standard-esque kind of stuff lately. But, for instance, I mean, whenever people ask me what genre my stuff is, I never have an answer for them. Like, what the fuck is North Wind in the Sun? It's just a song. You can't really, and I don't think about that at all when I write. Like, I never think about what genre this should be. I just think about, like, what message I want to get across, and then you do that. So I've never been affected by, like, what is popular, and yeah, again, I don't think that's necessarily good or bad, but I'm glad that I can just write whatever I want to write. I prefer to just write like me than try to be on... Two people left again. I prefer to just write like me than try to get on the fucking wagon. Like, I hate that idea. And that's also a result of what I listen to. I listen to whatever I want to listen to, and it's generally not what's popular, but it's also not a lot of the time what's considered like great music. A lot of my stuff I listen to is like guilty pleasure shit. It's not great, but makes me feel good. But I don't know how much. I mean, I don't know. People think what you listen to determines, like, greatly determines how you write, and I don't necessarily think that's true. Because I can kind of separate the two. And when I sit down to write something, I mean, yes, I'm not to say that I'm never like inspired by certain pieces of music, um, but I don't know. The writing process is very separate from the listening process. And I think the more you listen to, you have all these vague ideas floating around that are just sitting in there, and some of them get like regurgitated during your writing process. But still, coming up with changes and melodies, at least the way I do it on the piano and everything, it never feels like there's anything specific that's like backing it. There's no like, I don't know. There's no pool of like, for instance, what I've freshly listened to that is determining what I'm writing. It always comes from just looking at the keys and deciding what I haven't done. I think the main rule that I use when I write is that it has to be different from the last thing. I hate. I think as an artist you have to expand and try to like top yourself. So I hate the idea of writing similarly to what I just wrote. So I always try to make things different than the last. But I don't know, man. Like I fail to see that listening to a bunch of Beethoven on repeat and like Beethoven in my sleep would make me this master composer. I don't know. That correlation just isn't as strong as I think it's like made out to be. It is good. It's good to like study those things and listen to them, but I don't think listening to a bunch of shit is gonna instantly make you a great composer. Same with like word writing. I know people who, and this is mean, but I know people who read books constantly. There's that whole Bye Bye Jules. There's that I don't know. There's that archetype of person who reads books constantly. Like kids, when you were growing up, there were always those kids who were like, the new Harry Potter book came out and they read it in like 2 days or whatever, and then they're on to something else, and then they're on to something else, and then they're on to something else. But a lot of those people, they either like never even think about writing anything. It never crosses their mind. Or I mean, I've had a lot of those kids show me their writing, and it was just kind of like, I don't know. Maybe I missed the point, but I don't know. I didn't think it was that groundbreaking or incredible. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it's good. It's good to read. I do love. For instance, before I've been writing a lot of those little fantasy like fables, short stories. And before I wrote a lot of them, I read like Sophocles plays because I wanted them to feel like a translated ancient play, like Ajax or something. So I read a lot of those and I tried to like get the vibe so I could recreate that. And then when I wrote Little Finch, which was more like a Brothers Grimm old like kids fable almost children's story, I read a lot of old children's stories. Um, so in that sense, I mean that kind of stuff does help you. But I think I don't know the core of whatever it is you're creating is dependent on you. It's not necessarily dependent on have I listened to enough Bach today to be a good composer. It's you, man. You know. I think I think people need to just take more stock in themselves. Emmett, read what I wrote. Ben, nice man. Watching that dude lay it down on the guitar gave me fucking chills. He just like created the soundtrack of my childhood nostalgia on a Tuesday, like he just did. I took a semester of ancient Greek and read a few things. Socrates, among them, was pretty cool. Most novice stories have a pattern of starting every sentence with a pronoun noun, like he did this, the car was unhappy, or whatever. It's really bland. I don't mind bland writing. Actually, like two of my favorite authors are Ernest Hemingway and Cormac McCarthy. And Cormac McCarthy is like almost an even more bland version of Hemingway. Um, I like the simplicity behind their stuff because it again, like they're this the central theme of their novels, the stories, the messages are so strong. The simplicity only kind of makes way for their message, and it makes it clearer and stronger. If they had really like flowery writing, then it would almost, I feel like it would almost take away from what the point was. And then there are writers that are very, there's a lot of like English writers that are very sort of long-winded, and like, whoever wrote the Scarlet Letter or whatever, we all had to read that in high school. I didn't like that. I hated that actually. So that, I don't know. To each his own. I like Oscar Wilde a lot, and his writing is very colorful and playful, and but like he does it in a good way. I think he does it in a tasteful way, and his stuff is short too. If there's like a 200,000 word novel that's like very eloquent, but that might just become like a little too much for me. I don't have time to write a short story, so I wrote a long one. Mark Twain. Yeah, I haven't written enough. I haven't written enough Mark Twain. That's right. I haven't read enough Mark Twain. I like Dr. Seuss. I like Dr. Seuss too. I'm running a D&D campaign, and there's so much. Okay, tell me about. I don't understand what that means. I've never played Dungeons and Dragons. So what does writing a campaign mean? Does that like affect the way the game plays out for you? I read Moby Dick in high school, but I haven't like read it. You know what I mean? all the books that I read in high school English class that were like assigned and we talked about them in class, forgot everything. Forgot everything. I remember I read To Kill a Mockingbird because I was a TA in an English class, and so I like read that on my own time, and I enjoyed it. And then I also read Old Man and the Sea by Hemingway when I was a TA in that same English class, so I read it on my own time and I enjoyed it. But yeah, English class reading always like kind of ruined the book for me, and I didn't remember anything. So I'll have to go back and read it on my own time. Players play characters that interact with the world. A D&D campaign is basically a setting for the player to play in. Okay, cool. But so do you have to like write different quests and stuff? I mean, I don't even know how Dungeons and Dragons is played. So is it kind of like you're writing like code for the game, but obviously it's a real game. So I mean that's cool. You have to like make a map. This is the land of Osgard. Right, sightless, exactly. Whenever I'm forced to do anything, I hate it. And then as soon as I can do it on my own, I'm like, hey, let's do it. You know? Which is not a good quality to have, but it's, there it is. It's really nice because if your dungeon master is really creative and charismatic, it makes something really cool. I'll have to play Dungeons and Dragons at some point. It seems really involved and like it takes a lot of time, but like if you have the time and the mind to immerse yourself in it, it would be really cool. Hi Emmett. Hey Macho Man, Tranny Sandwich. Hey Steampunk 96. Wow, you'll finally become a D&D nerd. I don't know, man. I like that scene in Freaks and Geeks when James Franco is playing D&D. That's cool. I want to play D&D with James Franco. Osgard is built upon an ancient evil civilization of old elves whose crypts plague the depths below. And then if I do a one-shot on the Discord, you can totally join in and experience it. What's a one-shot? I don't know what it is. Terms. Elder Scrolls is like a more toned-down version. Right, that's kind of the vibe I get. You create a world where everyone speaks like Brother Joffrey, so the players who are playing the game have to speak like Joffrey the whole time. Yeah, last time when we met, you met me, Emmett. I told you that playing piano is easy. Currently, I can play piano by ear and blindfolded. Oh, thanks, man. Um, One shot is a single session adventure mostly use picture. Yeah, you're explaining. I'm learning about D&D. You know what my dad does? My dad's oh, super. Yeah, cool. My dad's also a piano teacher, and he I guess there's these special kinds of glasses you can get. They're usually used for basketball players. No, I remember you, dude. Yeah, super, dude. Didn't you make the Galaxy Guard Galaxy tune? Um, yeah, there's a special kind of glasses you get for basketball players so they can practice their dribble. That are kind of like blinders for a horse, but instead of like blinding the sides, it blinds your like peripheral vision down. And my dad apparently makes the students use those when they play, so if they want to basically they can't look at the music and their hands at the same time because they'd have to really to be able to see down. So it stops them from being able to look at their hands. They're forced to look at the music. I can't even do that. I have to look at the keys a lot. I mean, it always depends on what you're playing, right? I mean, if you're playing something that's fairly stepwise, then it'll be fine. But if you're playing like Chopin and your lifts and you got all these leaps and shit, you're gonna have to look before you leap. But yeah, I don't know. Context matters for that stuff, I think. But I should try and do that for myself. Play without looking at the keys. I use scarves in a dark room. Nice, man. You were playing on the open mic. That was a long time ago. I forgot we even did that. I forget what I played. But thank you. I appreciate that. Chopin is fun. The other thing that I think affects not only your... I mean, this is kind of self-evident, but you don't really talk about it. What affects your writing and what you like to listen to is kind of how you're feeling, like your general vibe, where you're at. Not necessarily emotionally. I mean, emotionally, for sure. But also just like energy-wise. Like at high school, I really loved, Chopin and listened to this guy named Astor Piazzolla who would write just insane shit. And there was this violinist named Gideon Kramer who would play Piazzolla's stuff, and he would just like rip over it. And everything was like super, super fast. I remember when I did Battle of the Bands in high school, I was writing very, very fast, very technical, very flashy stuff, like as many notes as you could fit in. So my current vibe now is like not. It's like the opposite. If you guys had seen that, listen to that song I wrote recently. What was it called? A Song That Sounds So New. That's where I'm at right now. And that song is really like, hit a chord, you sing a little bit, another chord, sing a little bit, chord. It's just really, it's very simple. It's slow, and a lot of the stuff I wrote before that was like that. And Rest Your Soul on Me was like that. Rest Your Soul on Me was very slow, and it was strings, so it was like sustained chords, and there was a couple little rhythmic figures in there, but nothing too crazy. So I'm very chill. Exactly. So and like all the super fast stuff is just like it's too much. It's too much for me now. It's just I don't know. And again the one of my least favorite aspects of music, and it seems counterintuitive, but I don't know how else to put it, is not production. Um, is playing the music, performing. And so I get from a performance aspect that, everyone, and especially specific instrumentalists, want to play virtuoso pieces so they can show off like how many notes I can play at once. That's like the last thing I care about. I used to think that was cool just because it was kind of fun. Nowadays, I like this I really don't see... I mean, I see the value in it objectively, but I don't care for it personally. Also just because I'm lazy, and I know that stuff takes practice, and I don't want to practice that, which I should be practicing because do have repertoire I'm supposed to be practicing. But Claire Schumann playing her piano concerto on Radio 3. Yeah, check that out. All right, you should change your category on Twitch to just chatting. What is my category right now? Game? Yes, I do. I forgot the title of the thing is Game. Yes, I do. If any of you know what that is a reference to, I'm not gonna say what it is. But oh, I have no category. All right, that's okay because you seem to be unlabeled. That's all right because this I don't know what I was gonna talk about. I just hit go live and then there we went. Is there any music? Yeah, I mean, growing up, my dad would play a lot of Bernstein, and I mean, we would listen to the classical station a lot, and they would play a lot of Beatles on road trips. Some of my earliest memories are just like sitting in the back of a car listening to like a Beatles cassette, like Strawberry Fields and the marching band themed one. What the hell is that one? Oh, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, like I don't know, just a lot of Beatles is some of my earliest memories. And but I mean, I took piano lessons early on, so a lot of those like dumb entry level piano, which is sad because so many teachers are they use like these very highly like uninspired academic shitty books that have like the brown bear boogie in them, you know, just like shit. And there's like a picture of a cartoon bear, and this is like it's just bad. It's bad stuff. You can have stuff that's like easy to play, that's entry level and still good. Bella Bartok wrote like a series of introductory piano pieces that are good. Like you can still make stuff good. So I think what yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about because we all had to play them, but they're bad. Like they're just straight up bad. You can I don't know. And I think that's what deters a lot of kids these days from playing piano because their first like interaction with it are these shitty things. So whenever I had intro piano students, I always had the same set of pieces that I would make them play by Bartok, who's a serious composer, insane fucking guy, he's really good. And so there's still like a sense of accomplishment and a sense of like, wow, I'm making some real music. Francis Kenneth make you strong. Yeah, dude, that was a good cover. Yeah, he needs to get on. He needs to post more stuff on Anarcho-Sagas. You guys got to get on him about that. It's a fun channel. It is. It's like a shitposting channel, but it's quality shitposting. I think. Max solo LPs. I miss those too. I remember that my teacher gave me Harry Potter, Super Mario Bros., and Zelda notes for my practice. I mean, that's not the Harry Potter. All those themes are actually really good. Koji Kondo is a really good composer. So I mean, if I had that shit, I'd probably be going gangbusters. But I didn't have that shit to play. I had dumb, forgettable shit. When is the first Kenneth Civ Let's Play? I don't know. At Max about that on Twitter too. You gotta do that. If y'all love Zelda soundtrack, I recommend checking out BBNG's covers. Yeah, they're pretty good. Now I'm just reading everything from the chat. This isn't even like a stream anymore. I'm just reading the chat. I just have ambient jazz playing while I hang out. But I should probably go back to studying. Yeah, go back to studying, man. I don't want to keep you. I can't listen to music when I'm studying. Well, mainly because I'm doing musical stuff, so that kind of conflicts. But also, I don't know, when music is on, I have to focus in on it. I can't just have it in the background, which is kind of too bad. It would be nice to be able to just jam to some shit, but you play by ear or by notes? I play by both. I mean, you gotta have, at least when you go to school, you are taught both, which is good to have. It's good to have both abilities. But
in terms of what is my dominant ability, it's definitely my ear. I can write music, but I can't read music. Because when you write music, it's a really slow process, right? You just note, note, note. But when you read music, you got to read it like, you know, it's a much quicker. Like I can't read music like I read words, and there are people who can, right? But that's fucking insane. But I can't do that. What note was that burp though? I don't know, son. They don't have perfect pitch. There's a lot of ambient backgrounds and music. When I'm struggling to study, it helps me get in the vibe. Yeah, ambient stuff is. I used to. You guys are gonna call me a nerd for this, but there was like a whole summer I think where whenever I went to sleep, I'd put on the Gravity soundtrack. That movie with Sandra Bullock. That soundtrack is so atmospheric. Excuse the pun, because it's in space. There's no atmosphere. But yeah, it's so like ethereal, and it helped me go to sleep. A fucking Gravity soundtrack, dude. And I had like really good speakers at the time in my room, so it was just like the whole room was just like it was like this beautiful fucking, and I went right to sleep. Um, Now I just like sleep in silence because I know that going to bed with music on or especially earbuds in is really bad for your ears. I remember that movie vividly. George Clooney was in your dreams. Yeah, no, it was great, dude. I used to a lot. I used to listen to music a lot to fall asleep. Now I use Yellowtail to fall asleep. Works much better. You gotta wake up to it. Turn it off. Yeah, you gotta wake up to turn it off. So like it's almost like an incentive to wake up. I don't know. And then there's this crazy people. There's that thing where you gotta like do calculus to like turn your phone alarm off and shit like that. Have you guys heard about that app? God, that's like the worst. You want to start your day by doing math to make this obnoxious go off. That'd just like that put me in a bad mood. I feel like the first few moments of your consciousness just after sleeping are like important for the rest of the day. That might be a bunch of bullshit, but I don't know. Just from personal experience, I feel like that has a lot to do with how I'm gonna go for the rest of the day. So if I had a crazy alarm and I had to like do work to turn it off, I'd be. What's your opinion on scroll stuff? Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I mean, I haven't seriously listened to it. It's good like jam music, and they're really cool. There were a couple tracks I bought so we could use them at the end of the Let's Plays. Um, it was yeah, I don't know. It's a good vibe. It was a good way to like take care, and then it would go into the credits and the music, and it was like it worked really well. And yeah, they're good. They're good. Like you could, I don't know. Someone should play those in a club. I'd love to go into like a fucking downtown club, and then Zoom is playing. That'd be sick, dude. Don't go straight onto your phone. Yeah, I try to. I don't think I'm that bad these days with like being on social media, being on my phone all the time, and all that shit. I didn't get texting on my phone until I was like a junior in high school, and I was on Facebook a lot though in high school. I was on Facebook too much, so there's always something. Right now I'm not that bad, but I'm on Twitter, but I'm only on Twitter right now. So that's Twitch and YouTube and all that shit. But in terms of like text and mixed media, social networks, just Twitter, and I'm not on it that much, so I don't feel too bad about it. You are also in Discord, of course. I spent way too much on the fucking Discord. Max always is like bugging me about that. Yo, you gotta get off the fucking Discord. You're on there too much. But you guys are cool, you know? I'm honestly like, it's so cool to have a fan base that is actually like a bunch of really cool people that I consider like friends. You know, I don't know. I feel like there's a large quantity of YouTubers that sort of secretly don't like their fan base and sort of distance themselves from it. Like it feels like they got themselves cornered. You know, but the people we got watching LaFave videos are like fucking sick. No, you guys are all great, dude. Well, okay, like literally like one guy maybe I thought was like creepy, but everyone else thought he was creepy too. Those people kind of get weeded out. But yeah, generally speaking, it's like it's just super comfortable and everyone's super cool. We haven't indoctrinated him yet. Max, yeah, I don't think Max wants to be indoctrinated. So many other fan bases are trash though. What do you mean? Like fan bases for other YouTubers or what? And it's always whenever we have one of the big videos, one of the big skits come out, reading the comments is such a different thing because then we get all these, foreigners, for lack of a better term, like foreign as in like they're foreign to the fan base, kind of, and then they just, it's a completely different like feeling reading comments from like the Outlanders, dude. Reading comments from, just like a skit that blew up compared to reading comments on, like, say, a Let's Play or something. So it's just a testament to the fact that you guys are so dang. Reading comments from immortals. We really do read, like, pretty much all the comments. I think people don't think we do, but we do. There's some straight up insane assholes on YouTube, dude. There's a lot of just, like, irreversibly fucked up losers in the YouTube comment section. Thankfully, they don't really gravitate towards our videos, but every once in a while we get some of that shit, you know? On the big skits, there's just like, I don't know, there's some comments where you're just like, you don't even know what they're talking about. There's some comments where you don't know what the end goal of the comment is. Like, why would you say that? I don't know, there's just some weird stuff, but you gotta let that stuff slide off. And me and Max gotta remember that we're like, we gotta be grateful for, and I mean that sincerely, for how cool our fans are. It's normal internet stuff, it is, which is sad, because you'd think, I don't know. Yeah. The first ideas of the internet were that it was going to be a vast pool of knowledge for everyone to, learn, and it's really not. It's just a bunch of people hanging and shitting around. But, oh well. How long has this stream been going on for? I can't even see. How long, guys? How long? Does it feel weird to have a fan base of sorts? No, it feels good. Because again, it doesn't, I don't know. I always have trouble with that term because when you say like fan base, it makes me think that I'm some like brilliant public figure and you all like, I don't know, you want my autograph or something, but it doesn't feel like that at all. It feels like, me and Max have kind of centralized a lot of like Elder Scrolls fans, and I think because Elder Scrolls, it's an older game, at least it's an older game series, it brought a lot of the same people together, at least in terms of like the age and everything and interest, and so I don't know. I think we really just helped a lot of like-minded people become like internet friends, really. And me and Max are no different from that. We're we're in on the whole like becoming a community, right? Yeah, exactly. It's not a fan base; it's a community. Yeah. So, and I don't like thinking that because I don't know. As soon as you say the term fan base, it makes me feel like I'm supposed to be like higher than you, but I'm not. I don't do anything. I say, have you heard of the High Elves? Oh man, we're not even good gamers. We don't know what the fuck we're doing when we're playing those games. We just think the voices are funny. So it's not like we're like these cool guys. I don't consider myself a gamer. I consider myself a guy who plays games. Sometimes I think they're enjoyable, but I don't know. Right, yeah, most of it's like poking fun at the game, but also like we love it. So, yeah. Cherry Coke. Sugar. Where'd you get that sugar remote? Oh my god, dude, my shit is so laggy. I swear isn't this orc from like, it looks like he's like from Banjo-Kazooie or something. I don't know what that is, but I love it. Artistic analysis. Thanks, man. Because that's all we really got to give. It's aggro and a half. Oh my god, is that a Twitch soda? Grow Malog. Oh, man. Next time, I haven't streamed for a while just because of school, but I do, like, generally speaking, I think the format for the last two, not even for the last two, I think for the last one, besides the one I deleted. My room is windy because I have the air conditioner like up, so I don't have to pay for it, and then I have a fan like right on me. It's right behind the computer. It's blowing on me, so I don't die. So that's the wall is broken. What are you talking about? Because all the little lines from the. Remember when I broke the fucking window? This apartment, dude. What was I saying? I have no idea what I was saying. Finny, wow, okay. Oh yeah, what I was saying with the last videos. Thank you. That I kind of have like, I think in the last one I had a general discussion point. I was talking about. Oh yeah, I was talking about that YouTuber Daniel Thrasher and how I didn't like his like the format of his videos. I thought they were really like disingenuous and clickbaity. And I kind of ranted about that for like 5 minutes or whatever, and then it just kind of turned into organic discussion, which I like. But next time I stream, I think I gotta find another point of discussion you can go off of, and they might be, you might not agree with me, and that's totally cool. Makes the discussion more interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I might game at some point, but honestly, I don't know if it's because like school started and my brain is like going real quick, but I haven't been like in the mood to play video games. I have like my Xbox and everything ready to go, and I've turned it on and I played it for like 5 minutes, and then I couldn't really get into it. But if there's something I feel like I really want to play, I will set it up. There was that YouTube guy that said he felt like he was above his fans. When you're gonna play Bully, I do want to play Bully. What is this? Open and honest discourse? Yeah, I hope so. I hope so, son. I do love Bully. I played it so much though. I feel like I need a little more time away from it before I can like enjoy it again because I played it so much. Bully and Oblivion, and Bully's like a close second probably to how much I played it. I mean, nothing touches Oblivion really. I haven't played anything as much as I played Oblivion. But if there is like a next game that I played like the most of, it's gonna be Bully. I do love Bully. You want to be a bully? I do. I love bullies, dude. That's what I gained. That's the knowledge I gained from bullies. That bullies are great, and I want to be one. Gears. I do like Gears. Gears is fun to play with friends. Rockstar and Bethesda games took over my entire life. Yeah, dude. I don't know what Stalker series is. Yeah, nobody else I knew played Bully either. I was like the only kid in my school who got it. I think because I went to like a nice school at that time, and like we were little kids, so
probably no one else's parents would like let them get it. Even my mom was like, as soon as I started playing it and she like heard some of the vulgar dialogue, she was like, "Ooh, I probably shouldn't have gotten this for you." But nah, dude, so good, so good. I don't know how to say your name. Nines Yorha. Thanks for tuning in, son. YouTube says 2016, but I'm sure I watched it a long time ago. Watched what? Oh, the first Oblivion skit. No, yeah, it's 2016. It feels older, I think, because of the video quality. But, well, no, 2015. It would have been like winter, like fall, winter 2015. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. Oh, that's kind of cool. Chernobyl. I dig it. Yeah, I don't know what. Bully kind of came and went. I think it was because it was so different from their other games. GTA. And I do love GTA, but I can't play too much of it. It just makes me depressed. The whole GTA world is just like, I don't know, man. It's just depressing. Bully has a lot more like the spirit in it. I mean, it's definitely still like Rockstar. Rockstar is very much like their whole vibe is very present in that game in a good way though. And the whole like I don't know, it's got a more fun and exciting thing going on than say they're like the GTA games. Um, Australia's whole Canis Canem edit. That's so funny. I love how like yeah, and I know. I mean, it's the game is about you're like taking down the bullies, right? I mean, I know your guy is kind of like this low IQ thug or whatever, but they always make their characters kind of like that. Um, but still, like the bullies are the bad guys. But I think in those games you can do whatever you want. You can like beat up whoever you want. So when parents saw their kids playing it, they thought like they misinterpreted it. Oh, this is a game where you play as the bully. But no, dude. There's a nice aesthetic to Bully compared to. Yeah, no, yeah. I don't know. And Bully's soundtrack is really good too. Like I can't think of a better game. I mean, the soundtrack on its own would just be like weird and like what is going on. But I can't think of a better game that has a soundtrack that perfectly complements the game. The Bully soundtrack is like so good, so good. Just in terms of how it relates to the game and like the feeling of like the whole world and everything. It's perfect. And usually their soundtracks. I mean, they had like some songs and stuff for Red Dead Redemption 2. They got that "May I Stand Unshaken" and all that stuff, which is cool. But like the GTA music, no one like you don't think about it. You don't even really hear it. It's just kind of this background. Like there's nothing really going on. It's like it puts you in the zone. It's just like some shit. I don't know. It's some weird like yeah. I agree with him and the Rockstar makes too much college jock type main characters. Yeah, I mean, Rockstar has a nice sense of humor about itself, and I think makes their games more, I don't know, enjoyable and like a fun experience. And because so many games these days are trying to be like so intense and shit. And yeah, I mean, even in Red Dead Redemption 2, I know Arthur Morgan's like he's like a deep, tragic character and very cool. But yeah, I mean, I remember there's a lot of like people make a lot of jokes about how he's dumb too, right? And then like that tubby Russian dude from GTA 4, like everyone's, he's pretty like dim, right? But I mean, most of these guys are supposed to be criminals, right? So in a sense, it makes sense. And then in GTA 5. Yeah, in GTA 5 they're all kind of dumb too, I guess. Well, Trevor's just straight up insane. And then I forget the other two guys' names. Michael DeSanto's like boring. He's so fucking boring. I mean, he's fine, but like in hindsight, I don't know, man. He's like and this is what he is like literally in the story too. He's kind of a detached dad, right? He's one of those like McMansion dads that buys a bunch of electric guitars and doesn't really talk to his son that much and drinks a lot of beer.
Like that's who Michael Sand is. I don't know, man. And who's the other guy? What's his Franklin? Franklin's I don't know. Franklin's just like he's like more of the older GTA characters, right? He's kind of the classic working his way up thug. Yeah, right. Yeah, you actually you get the idea that Franklin is more empathetic and a little more conscientious than the other two. Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, because he makes the decision at the end. Yeah, but even so, and then and then Jimmy's actually cool because obviously he's got like a really rough edge. He doesn't really want to be fucked with. They're all those characters are very like. It's definitely the whole like band of thieves from Red Dead Redemption 2, and then Jimmy and GTA 5 as well. They're all very like libertarian, you know. They don't. They kind of want to do whatever they want. You know, they don't want to like fuck with anyone deliberately, but they like kind of they break the rules a lot. Um, I don't know, and Jimmy's like that too. Jimmy doesn't want to be fucked with. He doesn't really care about anything, but then he sees they all have like this very slight like morally good edge. You know, and Jimmy sees that all these kids are getting fucked with, so he's like, all right, I'll do what I can, kind of. But that's cool. It's more, they're almost like anti-heroes. Like they're kind of they're mean and they're assholes and they're not really they don't have this I don't know this constant sense of like I need to do what's right. Yeah, Jimmy Hopkins. But when shit goes like ridiculously wrong, they're like, all right, let's figure it out, and that's cool. Yeah, Jimmy does deep down wish he had a better mom. It's so sad. Dude, I hope the new one comes out. There's all this like hype about Bully 2. It's one of those things where there was some legit like noise about Bully 2, and then from that it exploded into hoaxes and like faked images of the new game and shit. So I don't know. It's hard to tell what's like actual news and what's just like people doctoring shit. But it's about time. I don't know. I've never looked at like sales for Rockstar. I assume, unfortunately, I don't want to assume this, but just based on like what you see online, I think Bully's probably pretty far down on their sales because everyone like the GTA series is like the big one, right? And obviously Red Dead Redemption is the big one, but yeah, Bully kind of came and went because it was so different from their other shit. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm sure they're developing one, but like in terms of where they're at, I don't know because they've been developing one for like years now, right? Years and years and years. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we don't know how long the development's gonna take. I don't know what Mount and Blade is. What is that? I'm sorry, Fenny. I told you I don't know stuff. I just sit in my room doing this. I don't know about things. What is Mountain Blade? It's like a knight's. It sounds like a fantasy thing, like mounting your horse and swords. That's what I get from that. Non-nerd. Mountain Blade is good. It's an action RPG. You can lead armies of hundreds of. The only thing like that sounds like that I used to play a lot was Dynasty Warriors. That was really cool. I had a friend who was who was like a history buff when we were little, like 5th grade. And all the games he played were, gotta go to sleep because I gotta go up early percent of jog. Yeah, I got a few. Love you, Moochie. I'll see you soon. Yeah, all the games this dude played were just centered around big battles and shit. He loved big battles. So, of course, Dynasty Warriors is all about giant fucking battles. But it was fun. Like, it's exciting. I also found out about Shadow of the Colossus through him because he bought it. I remember he like explained it to me. I think he like gave me his copy. He was like, I thought this was gonna be a game with big battles, but you're like literally the only person in the game, so you can have it. He just gave me Shadow of the Colossus, and it ended up being one of my favorite games ever. But yeah, no, I do like. I mean, I love like Civilization, those kinds of games, and then Dynasty. I'm sure you guys have played some of the Dynasty Warriors. There's so many of those, right? They're on like Dynasty Warriors 25 now or something, right? They're kind of like Final Fantasy. Yeah, Shadow of the Colossus is like That was the first game that made me tear up. The ending, that made me fucking cry. Dynasty Warriors 1. The first one's probably really old. I forget which one I played a lot of. It was one of the ones that came out on PS2. Um, Dragon Age. Yeah, I haven't played. I've always meant to play Dragon Age. I played Mass Effect once, but I lost interest because I don't know. I wasn't in the right headspace. But I gotta check those out. I should. Yeah, everyone says Mass Effect is like the best thing ever. Dragon Age hasn't aged that well. Uh-oh, debate about Dragon Age. Oh, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of fantasy. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of fantasy games where if it looks too bland, like I don't know, a lot of these fantasy games look like a fake game that was made to be in the background in a movie or something. You know what I'm talking about? It's just like it kind of looks uninspired and almost like cartoonish. I don't know. There's a lot of fantasy games that look like they're like disinteresting. But obviously Elder Scrolls they got some stuff going on. I really liked Fable. Max and I both love Fable. I don't really just I don't know. I don't know, man. It's more that it doesn't have anything that makes it stand out. I don't know. There's just like you can have a game with like knights and magic and stuff that's cool, but like what makes it? Yeah, I don't know. What gives it its identity? Yeah, generic. Yeah, generic. Like yeah, it's the same old fucking. There's some dragons. There's elves and there's magic. It's like this has all been done before. I don't know. But yeah, the Elder Scrolls always has like some shtick that makes it stand out. Not only in terms of the story, but in terms of the gameplay. Like Elder Scrolls feels so specific. Like there's nothing that feels like an Elder Scrolls game. Nothing else. But there's a lot of those others. Like usually those fantasy games are in third person. It's like I don't know, man. A lot of the fantasy games, the person you play as feels more like this cartoonish like avatar than like a real person. There's a real connection you have with like the world of Oblivion and the world of Skyrim. I think because not necessarily because it's mainly first person, but also just because of I think the pacing has a lot to do with it. A lot of these other fantasy games, just like shit's happening so quick, and there's too much like information at once. But in Elder Scrolls games, it gives you time to just like walk around and get used to the world. And yeah, there's an authenticity. Yeah. I don't, the pacing is much more human. Like you really feel like a human just like thrust into this world, and then you can kind of take your time to fucking figure shit out. But in a lot of other fantasy games, yeah, I don't. There's so much happening on the screen at once, and there's too many like sub menus and shit, and it's like what the fuck? Yeah, I don't know. I get overwhelmed with a lot of them. I did play Diablo 3 for a while. Diablo 3 reminded me of Gauntlet Legends. If you guys ever played any of the old Gauntlet games, those are really fun. Diablo would be a good example of kind of what I'm talking about. Like Diablo 3, they pull it off, but that kind of like when your character gets to a high level in Diablo, the screen is just like vomiting at you. There's so much fucking shit going on, audio wise and visually. But yeah, I don't know. Elder Scrolls does a good job grounding you more in the world. Everything else is just like it's too fantastical and it's too quick for me to really pay any mind. It's like I don't know. It's like look at the first Spider-Man movie versus like Avengers Endgame. Spider-Man has so much more of like it. The pacing is much slower. First of all, uh, you're on par with Peter Parker as he's learning to be Spider-Man. Uh, every action sequence is like a big event, and there's repercussions and stuff. Versus, like it's a more of a human pacing, and the energy is more realistic in those Tobey Maguire, at least the first two, right? And then versus Endgame, where like Endgame is fucking dialed to 11 the whole time. Everything is just like constantly blowing up. It's always like the stakes are always so high that it feels like there are no stakes. That's kind of like, I don't know, Elder Scrolls versus what's some really like sensory overload fantasy game. Elder Scrolls lets you kind of build up to that height. It gives you time to figure shit out, whereas a lot of these other fantasy games just like start at a sprint and it just goes from there, and it's like it's just too much at once. Maybe I don't know. Games are getting too complicated for me, but that's what I think. God, he starts nuking everyone. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, you gotta prepare before. Yeah. That's what I like about Monster Hunter as well. People bag on Monster Hunter for that, but I think it makes it makes it more. It gives you more incentive to win, and it makes the fight more exciting because you've put a lot of shit into this. Whereas Diablo, I mean, as much as I love Diablo 3, you can just like, it's so easy to just like fucking. There's like these hordes of guys, and you're just kind of like mowing through them, and you like pick up loot, and everything's just so bright and moving around quickly, and everything's really easy. Like I don't know, it's just but that's why it's addicting. It's like the Diablo games are more like a cell phone game, you know? It's like fucking Bejeweled. You just do this mindless thing over and over again. Code restart very slow too. Yeah, I love that game. Yeah, dude, Diablo is a cell phone game at its heart. Oh man, being able to project your own notions onto games helps. Too much can be explained. Right. Yeah, I do like games that don't tell you up front what to do, but you kind of you figure it out because you have to. If games can organically tell you the controls without telling you the controls, and organically give you the objective without telling you the objective, that's really good. That's hard to do. But yeah, games with a million dialogue pop-ups and shit. Do this. Don't forget to do that. It's like, all right, I don't have time to do all this. Oh man. I know that someone told me they had mentioned us, the Sky Oblivion devs mentioned us on one of their streams, how they would like to have our voices. I think Max reached out to one of the guys leading the project and asked if he wanted our voices, for sure. And if they, I don't know. I know you have to go on, and I think there's I don't know how. I mean, they seem to be pretty far in their production, so I don't know if it's too late at this point. But somewhere they have a website where you can audition to do voice work. Right now, I'm not in really a good place to do high quality voice work. It's because I'm in my own apartment here, and the guy I usually record with is 2 hours away now. But I mean, if they want me, if they give me a script, they give me lines, I'll do it. I'll make it work. I'll figure it out. Because yeah, I want to do that. That'd be so fucking cool. But yeah, no, I can't imagine anyone besides the OG actors. That's what I was thinking. Because I mean, I've been asked to do some of the voices for Sky Wind, which makes sense because I know most of the dialogue is just text in Morrowind. But the voice acting is so good in Oblivion. I don't want I'm kind of scared to touch any of that. I think that they wanted me and Max for specific characters, if I remember correctly. I think it was the Jermaine brothers or something. They wanted us to be some specific part, which is I would be down for that. I wouldn't want to completely re-record someone's whole thing. You know, that's just too. All the voice acting is so good in that game. It's so perfectly cheesy. It's great. You can't fucking touch it. Add Mac into TES6. I hope they add me and Max in some capacity to one of them.
I just want to be like, remember in like Halo 4 when, I don't know how many of you are Conan fans, Conan O'Brien? They added like Conan and his host, or not host, his, I don't know what you call it, but like the dude that interviews with him, what's his name? Andy, I forget his name. But it's like Conan and the other guy, and his buddy. He was always like there with him. Conan and Andy, they were in the game, but like very briefly. In Halo 4, it's the mission when you take that pelican out into this like this, you go through like this long shuttle and you're like thrust out into this big. I think you're like approaching the Didac mothership or something. And anyway, there's this big section where you're flying this pelican, and in the place where the pelican is like chilling in the corner of the map. It's like hard to find actually. In the corner of the map, there are two like normal looking soldiers. You're not even supposed to go over there for any specific reason. You just if you happen to go over there, then you see these two soldiers, and it's like it's Conan and Andy, and they're like having a discussion, and that's it. And it's like this pre-made discussion that they have, and then they just do. And you can like kill them if you want. They're just like any other soldiers. That's what I would want. I would want something like that for me and Max to just have this really minor. I don't know, like when you enter. I think it would be so cool to recreate the have you heard of the High Elves thing? If you like enter a tavern, and then you like go to the back, like there's some weird part of the tavern that is kind of like the corner. There's no really reason to go over there, and then you see me and I have like a piece of fruit and I say, "Have you heard of the High Elves?" And I eat the fruit and I die. That's all I want. That'd be so cool. That would be so cool. They did that in Halo 3 with Red versus Blue. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, something like that. I just want that. And then Max could be, I don't know. Max could be, it could even be like, because I know some of the NPCs in the game are like already dead, right? Like you come upon their corpse or something. Max could be like a corpse in a cave. Loot, Maximus, LaFave. I don't know, man. I want something very small, but like it's there, Because there's such a big thing with Easter eggs these days in games. Are you a Red versus Blue fan? I used to watch it a little bit. I couldn't tell you anything about it now, but when I was in high school, like 8th grade, going into high school, I I watched a bit of it. What I was a huge fan of was Freeman's Mind. It's that guy who played the first Half-Life, and he narrated the whole length of the gameplay as Gordon Freeman. Freeman's Mind was so good, dude. Yeah, Freeman's Mind was the best shit. Do you plan on live streaming games? As soon as I can figure it out. My computer is very ghetto, and it can't do a lot at once. Even just doing this, it's like labored. Yeah, I gotta watch. I know he's on Half-Life 2 now. I gotta check that out. But yeah, my computer's ghetto, dude. I gotta do something. I gotta up my CPU, my RAM. I don't even know what any of that means, but I gotta do it. I know I gotta do it. My favorite Oblivion Easter egg was dropping the mother's head in front of the tree. I forget what I've done that before. Did we do that in the Let's Play? I don't remember. It's been so long. But I know you can do that. I forget what his reaction is. I can just download RAM. I gotta hack the mainframe, guys. I'll hack the mainframe, and then I'll be able to live stream gameplay. Oh shit. Let's see. I'll try to list like my top 5. It's probably not even gonna be accurate, but explain what a mainframe. Dude, I don't know what the fuck a mainframe is. It's the main frame. So there's all these other frames, but this is the main one. That's what it is. What's Unix? Guys, I don't know computers, okay? Alright, so my top 5 games would be gotta be Oblivion just because of how much I played it and how much it means to me. Definitely Bully. Definitely the original Bioshock. Also Shadow of the Colossus. And then I really want to say like Halo 3. Yeah, I'd probably say Halo 3. But then if I were to add on another 5, I don't know, man.
Heroes of Might and Magic. Aren't those actually cell phone games? It sounds like it. Ooh, I do love Zelda, but I watched Max play those more than I played them myself. Um, this isn't really like an objective list. It's just like the shit that sort of means the most to me. Brothers, Tale of Two Sons. Oh, Left 4 Dead for sure. The original one. All you guys like. Same thing with Battlefront. The original Battlefronts. Everyone was like lukewarm about the original the very first Battlefront, and then Battlefront 2 with the space battles. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, the best game." I think the original Battlefront is like the best in terms of the maps. Yeah, I prefer that one too. I mean, they're both great. I do enjoy the space battles, but the maps in the first one were fucking like. And Left 4 Dead, the original Left 4 Dead, also the Mercy Hospital, like no campaign beats the fucking like contour of Mercy Hospital. That's the best, dude. Yeah, Battlefront 2 did have a visual downgrade. It really did, which is so funny. Oh man, dude, Mercy Hospital is like the best, dude. Eased Crab, thanks, man. Yes, good to be streaming. Right, yeah, Battlefront 1, it had more of an interesting dynamic because it wasn't only one or the other. It was it was both going on at once. Some of the Naboo Plain map was so good. The Bespin gas station map was really good. I don't even know what it's called. Bespin, not the city though. There's Bespin City, but then there was the Bespin Platforms, I think it was called. One of the best maps, dude. Yeah, what is Baldur's Gate? I honestly know nothing about that. I just hear that everyone likes it and has been playing it a lot. I don't know what it is. Amnesia Dark Descent. I've seen PewDiePie play it like everyone else in the world, but I've never played it myself. Baldur's Gate is an old game? Why is everyone... Has it just made like a resurgence then? I thought it was a new game. Everyone's talking about it like it's new. Dude, Bespin Platforms is the best map, dude. Yeah, so good. I didn't know there were video games attached to the Dungeons and Dragons world. That's cool. What made you come back after the first few Oblivion videos? Because everyone was asking for another one. I was kind of a dick. Max uploaded the first one, and then I literally, because the second one had been uploaded to his Instagram, his personal Instagram. That's the only place it was. That was the only place the file was on his Instagram. So I asked him for the file. I think I actually ripped it from his Instagram. I went on to the video, and I downloaded that Instagram video downloader, and I took it straight from his Instagram, and then I asked him hey, can I just upload it on my channel so people will maybe watch my music too, listen to my music? That's the only reason I did it on my channel, is because I wanted to pull some viewers to my songs. And so then the second one was recorded shortly after the first one. We just did those for fun. But then after that, everyone was like, dude, another one. So that's when I did 3. And then right after and then I had the idea for 4 for a long time, because I knew it was a good idea. But I knew the execution was everything. So right after we started the Let's Plays, it was pretty, usually the order and the timing that we upload shit in has nothing to do with each other. It's just because we did it and then we upload it. There's no foresight. But thank you, man. Yeah. But with 4, that was a strategic maneuver, because we had just started the Let's Play series. I think it was we had only had 3 or 4 episodes out at most of the Oblivion Let's Play series, and then so we decided hey, to bring in more people, let's do 4 now. And then it worked like a charm. I didn't expect it to blow up as much as it did.
Thank you, East Crab. Another one coming soon, right around the corner. Like as soon as I have an unmixed version of the file. It's all recorded. As soon as my producer buddy sends me the final mix, I will post it. It's gonna be good. But yeah, step one. Appreciate that, producer bunny. Producer bunny. I did Halo 3 on Legendary Solo. You know what's really sad? I did that in I did Halo 3 Legendary Solo, I want to say, I don't even know, man. Somewhere in high school, somewhere early in high school. And it was a great time. It's a challenge for sure, but I could do it. And you just think, as you get older, your skills will kind of at least stay the same or get better with you. No, they didn't. I tried to do Halo 3 on Legendary a year ago. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It was so hard. Oh, I've become a shit gamer. Halo 3 Legendary Solo is scrub mode. Yeah. Oh, you're 10 times better at games now than I am now. Okay, yeah, that's what you'd think would happen. You'd get better, but nah. I never play games on hard. Yeah, I don't play games on hard either. Lose all motor ability in your hands. Pressure strikes. Oh man. Hey, Wacko Jacko, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Oh, you were 10 times better back then. Yeah, no, yeah, same. I don't know what it is. I mean, they always say that, when you're a kid, you're your brain is firing quicker. Maybe your reaction time is definitely probably better when you're a younger kid. So you're just I don't know, you're more focused. You're just, whoa, you're I don't know. Yeah. You're probably just quicker when you're younger. But now, I don't know. And now, I don't know. I like to have, I like to just chill when I'm playing games. I think when we were kids, it was more easy to get deeply immersed, and then you're in that game when you're playing it, right? But nowadays I kind of I do play things more for the story, and I don't play them as long. I can't play for if I play for an hour, I'm that's tops for me. But I remember me and Max back in the day would stay up all night playing Gauntlet, shit like that. 6 hours we'd play Gauntlet. Oh man, it was so fun. But yeah, I don't know. It's I can't do that anymore. Yeah, your reaction time is better. Yeah, because we're doing all this shit these days that we don't have enough energy to dedicate to being an MLG gamer. Yeah, Gauntlet's great, dude. Gauntlet's so good. Since day one, Max and I have said we want to do a Gauntlet Legends playthrough. We're still gonna, one of these days. We got a lot of plans for games, but for some reason we're just super hesitant to actually follow through. Yeah. Max and I were looking at mods for Battlefront 2, because we have the original Battlefront 2 on Steam or whatever. And there's this wonderful community for modding Battlefront 2. You can play as the one I really wanted to play as. I loved the Mandalorians when I was a little kid. I thought they were the sickest. They were so cool. I read all the comics, and I know that someone did a mod where Mandalorians are a faction. Oh my god! I feel I would just if I could, I don't know, if I were 12 and I had that mod, I wouldn't get off the computer ever. That'd just be the coolest fucking thing. Yeah, Star Wars Bounty Hunter, dude. That was the sickest game. Yes. We played the shit out of Bounty Hunter. Have you heard about MagFest in DC? I have heard about MagFest. I know I need to go to a thing with Wes at some point. But, one of these days, probably over the summer. If he goes to any big events over the summer, we'll try to hit it up. It's very hot where I am. Yeah, Arizona is very hot. Southern Arizona, specifically. Tie people up and set them on fire in Star Wars Bounty Hunter. Yes, the Coruscant levels were so cool. I'm sure. I feel like I'm scared to play that game again because I feel like if I went back, everything would be so lame. But like that nighttime Coruscant level was like, oh my, the most immersive. Because I loved Coruscant in the movies. I thought it was the sickest planet. I love the whole big city vibe, big futuristic city, and so like yeah, there was like that club in Coruscant, and you could walk around like the alleys and shit. It was so cool, dude. Right? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's always surreal meeting someone that you like. You get used to it after a while, but yeah, people that you know online or just through videos and stuff, but not in person. The first time you meet them, it's always surreal because you know half of your brain is like, oh, it's just a dude, right? I mean, because you're like interacting in the real world now, and then the other half of your brain is like trying to make the connection, you know? Because you know there's like a different part of your brain that knows Wes Johnson as this famous voice actor, and then there's like the, you know, the more immediate part of your brain that's like meeting this human being. It's like almost two separate things, and then as time goes on, they kind of like come together. It's weird. That was a bad way to describe it, but I think you get what I'm trying to say. I didn't actually watch the Mandalorian trailer. I've been kind of bitter about all the Disney Star Wars stuff. But I know Bryce Dallas Howard, I think, directed it, which is really cool because I'm a big fan of her and I'm a big fan of Mandalorians. So you'd think I would be down. We will check it out. I'll have to check it out at some point. And, oh, but dude, if you want to get me fired up, I'll talk about Disney and Star Wars all day long. I'm also so torn about the, no, I'm not going to watch them, no. I mean, I'm sure I'll watch it at some point, yeah, but I'm not going to, like, go to the theater to watch it. Fuck that. I'll pirate it if I can. But I love one of my heroes growing up. My childhood heroes was Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan. So I'm so torn about. There's like supposed to be a series with him as Obi-Wan again, right? So it's like I want to see it for him. I really want to see it for him, and I really don't want to see it because of Disney. So. Power did Last Jedi. Good for you. Any thoughts on the trailer for what? I think so. My whole thing with them now is that Disney was have been the whole time so open to like shitting on George Lucas as much as they want. They're such fucking like Disney has no dignity anymore. They do whatever they think the audience will want, and they have no critical thinking skills. They have no like creative, like genuinely, I don't know, yeah, genuinely creative ideas, and I think they just don't get Star Wars. The movies they've made so far, there's like it doesn't really hit. But yeah, I remember J.J. Abrams was like shitting on Jar Jar Binks, and they kind of make fun of George Lucas a lot, right? And then like I know George Lucas gave them all his scripts, or at least his script treatments for 7, 8, 9, and they fucking threw those out the window. Even Mark Hamill was pissed, because the thing with George Lucas is that he's an incredible storyteller, but he might not be the best filmmaker, right? That's where the prequels fell short. So if Disney was smart, they would have taken his stories, and then if the production value and the production sense of Disney movies could have melded with George Lucas's creative mind, that would have been perfect. But they didn't do that. They were assholes. So they're like, no, fuck you, George. We own it now. So they went off and did their own shit, and they fucked it up. Like who cares about Rey and Poe and Finn and whatever the fuck their names are? Horrible. And now what they're doing, because they realize that there's like no one is really getting attached to their shitty IP, is that they're trying to like pull out all the old shit that they know people like. Like, I mean that's why Leia and Han were such a big part of the first one, right? And then
No, but they didn't plan this. They're just kind of like doing it as they go. Because if they were smart, they would have waited to bring out the big guys until the end. But they brought out all the big guys right in the beginning, and now they're at the end and they're bringing out like Lando. It's like Lando. If you're gonna give him a cameo, he should have had like a spare one in the first movie or something. You work your way up to the big guys, but and now they're bringing the Emperor back, right? They realize like, oh, who's the golden dude with like the scar across his face that died really quick, that didn't have any point to him being there. Snoke. He even had a shitty name, Snoke. So he had no purpose. He was a stand-in for the Emperor. He died. They realized he sucked, so they literally just brought back the Emperor. That's so shitty. Do you see what I'm saying? They're open to like shitting on George Lucas if they know the fans will like it. And at the same time, because they don't have any ideas of their own, they're pulling out all this stuff George Lucas did that was good because they also think the fans will like it. They have no integrity. It drives me up the wall, dude. And yeah, I get that some of the prequels were like, some of the parts of like the first one were kind of dumb. Jar Jar was like annoying, but he's not. I don't know. He's like, it's pop culture to like think Jar Jar blows these days, you know. And yeah, I mean, I guess he's there's a little too much of him, but I don't think he's that bad. It doesn't every old like Disney cartoon have an obnoxious comic sidekick? Mulan had that dragon. Lion King had Timon and Pumbaa. Fucking Phantom Menace had Jar Jar, dude. It's fine. Like, it's for kids. That aspect of the movie is for kids. Yeah, he's dumb, but like, why? Why is he that bad compared to all the other like obnoxious sidekicks? I really don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, he looks ridiculous, right? But that's part of the. I don't know. It's part of the joke. I don't get that shit. It was like slightly funny when you're little, and then you're kind of just like, I don't know. I always like knew he was like there to make the kids laugh or whatever, so he didn't really bug me that much. And then two was genuinely bad. There's nothing I can say that will like I can't defend that one because it's so bad. I think some of the plot points in 2 had a lot of potential. Like there was that moment when Obi-Wan gets captured by the Geonosians and Count Dooku tries to like enlighten him about the Emperor and shit, but that never really goes anywhere. That was such like he literally told him the whole plot of the movies in that scene, and then Obi-Wan was like, "Nah, dude, I don't believe you," and then like that just stopped. So that could have been really cool. I think Count Dooku could have almost been like the almost like the Sirius Black or like Snape, Severus Snape of Star Wars. Yeah, Dooku was wasted. I think Maul was okay. I think the whole point of Maul was that he just kind of like represented the Sith coming back, and I think people want more of him so much because he died so quickly. I don't know in the cartoons or whatever he's got like fucking Grievous legs now. I don't follow all that stuff, but even 2's title sucks like Attack of the Clones. Yeah, dude. But honestly, like when we were kids, Attack of the Clones was the shit. Not because of the movie, but because of all the toys and like Legos and games that came out around it. Attack of the Clones was like, it had the most. I don't know. It gave the most in terms of. Yeah, I don't know, like new vehicles and new like troops and shit. I remember there was so much that came out with the Attack of the Clones. I remember right before we went to see the movie, I bought like a Jango Fett action figure. There was so much fucking like toys. It was so cool. When we were kids, like Clone Wars was so dank. And yeah, I remember I didn't even like. I thought the movie was alright when I was like, I don't know, 8, whatever the movie came out. But what I was most excited about was like going home and playing with my Jango Fett action figure. And I also got like the Slave One ship. That was so cool, right? But again, yeah, that wasn't the movie. But I do think that 3 is really, really good. And speaking of, if you guys, I don't know how long most of you guys have been here, but really early on in the streams, we were talking about books and shit. And I was talking about how
I've been reading a lot of Sophocles plays and stuff like that, and even like Shakespeare plays and stuff like that. You think of those great ancient works as needing great actors, right? But a lot of those plays weren't written to convey real people, like people you could just have a conversation with. In that time, I mean, yeah, a lot of those characters had things that made them individuals. They had descriptions, but they're primarily archetypes. They represented things. They weren't like, I don't know, man. If you look at like a movie like Good Time with Robert Pattinson, that's a movie where there's like the goal of the character is to have a tangible human being that could be like a real person. And if that's what you're going for, that's cool. But for a lot of old plays, characters represented things. Yeah, I like Greek works a lot in general. But obviously, when you're reading these, and even though they've been translated over time, and a lot of the dialogue has been, probably, I don't know, doesn't really relate to how we speak these days. Yeah, but I mean, even so, it's like it's fine. The writing is beautiful, but it's not meant to be like hyper realistic. The yeah, I don't know. And so anyway, the point I'm getting at is that I think episode 3 specifically really reminds me of like a Greek drama, because these, I mean, Anakin is the tragic hero, Obi-Wan is like the wise wizard almost, and then Padme is the love interest, the Emperor is the Emperor. I mean, everyone's got, they have such a deep seated but like classic archetype that fits their character. And so I don't know, man, the acting didn't bug me that much. I guess at the end of the day, my point is, like, Hayden Christensen's poor acting, it was fine. It didn't bug me as much as it bugged everyone else, apparently. Backstroke of the West. No, what is that? But yeah, I don't know. Even when you look like the scene when Anakin confronts Palpatine, and like they're in his office and everything, that feels more like you're watching a play than watching a movie. And their dialogue back and forth is so, like, it's so intense, and it's very like he says this, then he says that, right? It's very clean, but that's kind of what you want. I don't know. I see the value in not making it necessarily realistic, but making it like an ancient epic play or something. Poorly translated and well done. Yeah. It's a Chinese bootleg version. Oh, I have heard about that. Backstroke of the West. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, obviously, I mean, the only time George Lucas's writing really bugged me was like the love. You can't write romantic shit. The love scenes in Attack of the Clones were awful. A la gold. But in episode 3, I thought it was fine. There was nothing that like stuck out to me. A lot of the scripts that have I don't know, there was some lady on Twitter who made a series of videos about like shitty jokes in recent movies that have been approved by all these big execs. So they're really safe, dumb jokes that really don't have anything to say. And I think I have more of a problem with that. I don't have a problem with like, I don't know, if I can watch a movie and there's a couple lines that might be like weirdly worded, or I don't know. Yeah, yeah. What's Call Me Carson? I don't know what that is. But yeah, I don't know. So I mean, I think the general thing with George Lucas's writing is that you can tell it was just him writing it, which is I think that goes for a lot of writers. But you don't really think about it because there's the actors are interpreting each line differently, so like you go with it. I think what bugs me more is that when the writing is so safe and has been so fucking like sifted over and over again by all these different executives that it's just like it becomes very stiff and boring because there's nothing. I don't know. There's nothing genuine or individualistic about it. Like I don't know. A lot of the Avengers movies, the writing was just I forget. There's no memorable lines to me. Um, how about episode 8 starting sequence when Poe just made childish comebacks against the lead Empire guy? I don't remember anything about episode 8, dude. I don't remember a thing. I watched it. I ended up watching it, but I couldn't tell you a single thing from that movie. I thought it was a mess. I mean, but so did everyone else, right? So that's okay. Well, that second was bad too, though. I don't get why people loved. Put some dirt in your eye. Right, exactly. What's to remember? But nothing happened in 7 either. Like, yeah, stuff happened, but there was no like antecedent and consequent. There was no fucking. No one gained anything. There was no. I don't know, dude. Like, no one had any personal battle. It was just too much crap. Yeah, right? And yeah, it's got the very Disney's good with like ephemeral excitement. It's really exciting while you're looking at it, but as soon as you come out of the theater, it's like it's over. It doesn't really stick with you. You know? You kind of forget about it. And then there's movies that have the opposite effect where I remember like watching No Country for Old Men for the first time. The first time I watched it, I watched the whole thing and it finished. I was like, what the fuck? Like, where's the ending in that one is very. It's not like dramatic. It's not what you expect for an ending. It just kind of ends. And so, as like I was like 13 when I watched it, 13 or 14, and yeah, I remember being like, what the hell was that? And then I watched it again, and then I let it sit with me for a while, and I was like, that was really good. And if a movie can do both for you, very few movies can have both effects, where it's like incredible and engaging while you're watching it, and then it like leaves with you when you come out of the theater. And I don't know, movies that have done it for me, at least in recent memory, have been Hereditary. If you guys saw Hereditary, holy fuck. Like, I'm not usually necessarily a horror fan. Not because I'm too scared for them, but just because like I don't get the point. I don't like watching people just like die for 2 hours or whatever. It just puts me in a bad mood. But Hereditary, like it's like intense while you're watching it, and then when you leave the theater, it's like a lingering creepiness. It's a lingering like. It's not like a cheap creepiness either. It's a very profound, like terror. Yeah, very good. Blade Runner and sequel or Nightmare Fuel. Yeah, I thought 2049 was great. That was a sad movie too. I don't know the name Blade Runner. Whenever I'm about to watch those movies, I think it's gonna be like this action movie. I mean, Blade Runner. It sounds so actiony. But yeah, Blade Runner 2049 was just sad. It was straight up. Yeah, I felt so bad for Ryan Gosling in that one, dude. The car scene near the yeah, right? Yeah, like yeah, yeah, dude. I don't know. So if movies can achieve both of those things, then that's incredible. And a lot of filmmakers are good at either one or the other, and that's fine. But I don't know. Films that you talk about for a long time have both going on. If you guys have seen that Tom Ford movie, it was based on a book. Nocturnal Animals came out, I want to say 2017. That might be wrong. But Nocturnal Animals with Amy Adams and the other guy. The guy who played Mysterio. Jake Gyllenhaal. Check out Nocturnal Animals. That's another movie that I would say like really captivates you while you're watching it, and then when you're out of the theater, it's like fuck, dude. It stayed like
There are movies. Even if we go as a group, I usually go with my buddy Ben, and then Max, two. We'll go as like a group of 3 or 4 guys or whatever. There have been movies, as large as the group may be, we'll be like silent for the rest of the night because it's just like it's messed you up. Those are really good movies. When you empathize with the replicants more than the people, it shows how far the people have fallen in those films. Nightcrawler was great too, yeah. But no, yeah, I agree with what you said. That's a lot. Whenever there's like an android, normal person dynamic in movies, they always make the android more human than the people. Like in, I feel like everyone hates this movie, but I like this movie, Prometheus. David, the android David, was like, I don't know, he just had more spirit than anyone else in that movie. He was like the android. I thought Elizabeth Shaw was badass too, but she was like badass in a completely different way. Zodiac, yeah, Zodiac was great. Zodiac was sick. But yeah, Nightcrawler was like one of his best performances, I think. Yeah, one that I remember we watched that really just like had us speechless was a lot of people hated it, but it was called It Comes at Night. That was another A24 movies. We really love A24 movies. But It Comes at Night I think people hated it because of the title. It makes it sound like there's going to be a monster, but there's no monster. It's just dudes. But there's a lot of tension in that movie. I thought that was a good one. Prometheus should have pushed the human origin story more. I think they had to concede to the alien heritage. Yeah, the alien aspect of that movie was the weakest link. Oh, I have seen The Thing. I'm sorry, yeah. I've seen it. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, so it's a classic, man. Got nothing to say about that one, because it's like unanimously agreed upon as being a great film, right? Yeah, it's a good one. It's really good at making you start on the other end of things when they're shooting at the dog in the beginning, and it's like, oh no, don't kill the dog, right? It's like it's such an easy way to make you like in favor of the humans and be like hesitant to, because it's like, oh, why are you shooting at a dog? What possible? So that was like a great opening. Special effects and the things still hold up. Yeah, they do. The blood test scene. I forget. The blood test scene. I remember that when they tie everyone up. Yeah, that's a great one, dude. But it was universally panned on release. Wow, that's interesting. Favorite of E.T. Extra. I watched E.T. once. I think in high school or something. I don't remember anything. Yeah, the thing is very good. I also think Alien is very good. Alien holds up except for one shot. Alien's probably one of my favorite movies in general. It's definitely one of my favorite horror movies. They've decapitated the android. There's the android Ash. They don't know he's an android in the beginning. They find out he's an android. They rip his head off or whatever. And then Ripley is trying to set his head up on the table. And it's very obviously a dummy head. And what they could have done is because they were going back and forth between a shot of just the head to her. I think I mentioned this in one of my videos. A lot of this stuff I'm saying right now I've said before, but they're going between a shot of just that her setting up the head to a shot of her. And instead of going from a shot of the dummy head to her back to the guy's real head, they did a jump cut from the dummy head to his real head. So it was the same shot, but then it just turned into the real head. It was so bad. It was so bad, dude. So that one shot sticks out like a sore thumb. And even for the time, there's easy ways to get around that. And they fumbled that. But the rest of the movies, of course. In the blood test, they show light in the character's eyes who aren't the alien. Wow, I never noticed that, yeah. Ripley's a goddamn robot. I thought she did a good job. The whole vibe of Alien is they're these
like outer space truckers, right? There's just these run of the mill dudes, and then they have this like crazy problem to deal with. So I think there's an example of a movie that has like very realistic people. I mean, I know not each of them are like these really colorful characters, but I don't know. When I watch that movie, I believe that like if this crazy situation really happened, like that's kind of how it would go down. And whereas like episode 3, the characters aren't like real people you could have a conversation with. They're more just there for thematic reasons, which I think is fine if that's what you're going for. Now here's a movie because there's a fan on me because it's really hot. Opinion on Spaceballs. I think it's one of what the hell's the guy's name? Who's that guy who made that movie? Oh God, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I think it's one of his not as good movies. I mean, I get why it's popular. Mel Brooks, thank you. I get why it's popular because it's about Star Wars and Star Wars is big. But he's got a lot of really good movies. A lot of his movies have, I mean, they're comedies, but they have a lot of heart. Producers, and there was one about this playhouse that was like an underground railroad for like Jewish people during World War II. I forget what it was called. I only saw it once, but it was genuinely really funny when it was genuinely really touching. And Mel Brooks is good at that. But Spaceballs was just a bunch of stupid jokes. I don't know, dude. I don't know, man. I mean, we've all seen it, right? And it's like, yeah, it's fun. It's fun when you're in high school watching it with your buddies or whatever. But beyond that, I don't know. Starship Troopers. I gotta say, I never got into Starship Troopers. Max loves Starship Troopers, so sure be happy to talk about it. But I think, okay, the other thing I've noticed, I think one of the big defining things about movies you like, don't like, blah, 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 is, I mean, it's your mindset going into it. I treat movies very seriously, and I really get into them. That's why I think, like, when they're immersive, they really immersed me, like Alien. I thought that was really, I really believe that there are these like real people in that situation. Like Star Wars movies, I really get, like the original ones, I really get immersed in the world, and the themes are very compelling. And there are other people who kind of take a more lighthearted approach to movies, which is fine, but it's taken me a while to realize this. Like I have a friend who loves Aliens, the sequel, and I gotta come clean because I know it's like everyone loves Aliens. I hate Aliens. I thought it was awful. I thought it took everything that was good about Alien and like made it cheesy and dumb. But I have a buddy who loves that one, like specifically because it's like hokey and fun and like it's got a lot of blood and he loves. He mentioned specifically he loves whoever that like dumb jock was, that there was like a dumb jock soldier who says like game over man, right? Isn't that from Aliens? That was like one of the highlights of the movie for him because of how like ridiculous he was, which is fine. But like, so for me watching Aliens, I fucking hated that guy. It was like what? I don't know. I didn't buy any of the characters. And then there was like that macho Latina. I didn't buy her either. Like none of the characters. And even like Ripley was like in the first one. Ellen Ripley was like, you could see the fear. She was like competent enough to like get through this, but she was still fucking terrified. And then in Aliens, they made her like this. I'm a badass, right? I don't buy that shit, dude. I don't know. I didn't buy it. I like it when it's more like grounded in those kinds of movies. I do like it when it's more grounded in reality. But Aliens, I couldn't get into it. I thought it was dumb. And then it's funny how like James Cameron, right? James Cameron made it. James Cameron wrote Alien, the original one. He did not. I think I read a lot about Alien a couple years ago. I don't think he wrote the first one. Did he really? I mean, I might be wrong. I would be very surprised. Because he just likes guns and explosions and so I mean the Aliens has James Cameron written all over it. But because that's what it is. And then like the alien's just bigger, right? He wrote it on a whiteboard. Oh, wait. So what do you mean exactly? I don't get it. Oh, is that what? That's stupid. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't like. James Cameron's funny because like he admits that like he just didn't he say like about Titanic that he just wanted an excuse to go down and like actually film the real Titanic. And then the fucking like Transformers movies. What is I don't know. They're so heartless. There's so those are a perfect example of movies that they're like even worse than current like recent Disney movies. Those are great examples of movies that have like zero like they don't stay with you at all. Like a Transformers movie, it's like whoa, they're turning into robots, cars turning into robots. It's all like just visual excitement, and then as soon as it's over, you've forgotten everything that just happened. Right? That's I never watched. I think everyone watched like the first one, but I don't know. Didn't he do Transformers? What did he do? No, I mixed them up with someone else. I don't know, man. Michael Bay. Oh, right. No, they're like the same guy. They're the same fucking guy, dude. I get them mixed up in my head all the time. Yeah. Lots of money, lots of explosions. This time it's an alien, but it's an even bigger alien. You do something silly, do it like Raimi. Yeah, Raimi's great. I still think I know everyone like jerks off to Spider-Man 2, but I still think I mean I love Spider-Man 2 as well, but I think Spider-Man 1 is like just as good. And Spider-Man 3 got fucked because of Sony, right? Sony always fucks shit up. They've screwed up Spider-Man like 3 times now, right? This time explosions come out of explosions. Yeah. All right, so who did Avatar? That was James Cameron, right? Did Avatar? I gotta do dishes. All right, baby. I'll see you. Yeah, I never got into Predator for the same reasons. Dancing scene in what? Oh, in Spider-Man 3. Right, yeah. The last time I caught like the end of Spider-Man 3, like the big battle at the end, and it was so bad, dude. I forgot how horrible it was. Yeah. And yeah, no, again, I mean, I don't know. I understand that there's like a different mindset that likes those like intense action. I've never liked action movies in general, so a lot of the aspects of even like action movies that I do like aren't like the guns or whatever. So I think because yeah, Aliens is like a bulked up, action packed version of Alien. Um, it's it brought in a new demographic of viewers. Shit, dude, go to sleep. Yeah, Tobey Maguire was great. And everyone says what like Garfield was a good Spider-Man, Tobey's a good Parker. But I think Tobey was a good both. I mean, if you watch those movies, he still makes lots of like wisecracks as Spider-Man. It doesn't need to be like constant in your face, completely exaggerated to be like a good Spider-Man. Spider-Man still he's got a lot of heart, even in the comics as Spider-Man. Even when he's Spider-Man, yeah, he's jokey, but he's still got a lot of heart a lot of times. And Tobey had that man, a lot more thriller like Alien. The director's cut. Yeah, I'll give it another shot. Holland feels more like high school. He does. Yeah, I remember even when I was like when the first Spider-Man came out, when I was God knows how old.
I still just like in my mind because I don't know, I was so young that the difference between high school and college was still like this. I don't know. It's like I couldn't really tell the difference very well on film, and I thought I just assumed even at that age that that Peter Parker was supposed to be in college. I didn't buy at like 5 years old or whatever that he was he was in high school. But I mean, it doesn't bug you that much. There's always like ridiculous things in movies. Like, have you guys seen that Netflix movie? It's like a mini series on Netflix called When They See Us. Really good series about the Central Park Five that were like falsely accused of raping this woman, and they got screwed for the rest of their lives, and finally, well, you'll see if you watch it. It's a really good series. But anyway, it follows their lives from like when all this shit went down. Most of them were like in high school, like young high school, like 14, 15. And then it follows them until they got out of prison and shit because they got falsely convicted when they're like full-grown adults. And the growth rate for them didn't make any sense. There was like this really little kid who looked like barely he could be in high school. He looked more like 7th grade. And then when it like flashes forward to when they're grown up, he's like this huge like beefcake. He looks like he's in his mid-30s or something. And then some of the guys like don't age that much. Most of the actors change completely, but then one of the actors is just the same actor. So it's just like, it's weird. Like it doesn't make any sense the way they age. Some of them age like way too much. And then some of them age like really not at all, even though it's supposed to be like chronologically it's the same time span for all of them. But I don't know, like when you're seeing it, the magic of film is that like because you're seeing it, you just kind of like let it happen, you know? The train scene Spider-Man 2 made him more of a relatable character. He still feels like a vulnerable human being. I don't get that feeling from the modern Marvel. Not at all, yeah. Not at all. We're seeing fleshing out Spider-Verse in a second movie. What happened with Spider-Man? Was it because did Far From Home not do well, so they gave it back to Sony? They gave up? I don't know what happened with all that shit. Does anyone know? Because like the IP was given back to Sony, right? In the last week or so. That's it. Spider-Man's cinematic track record is so fucked up. Well, it's because everyone wants him, right? Everyone knows, like, he's universally loved even by non-comic book fans. Yes, yeah, fucking huge, man. Disney got greedy years ago, dude. Disney's been greedy. Whoa, son of a bitches. Sony always had it. Right, yeah, I know they did. They were doing like a joint thing, right? Yeah, they're releasing it to Disney. Okay. I don't know what they took it back. That's so stupid. You can just tell that none of these guys give a shit about any of it. It's like it's just straight business for them, which I get, but at the same time, it's sad. The people at the top, their heart's not in it at all, and then the directors and the writers, they're suffering for that. You know? Well, yeah, no one cares about Spider-Man. Yeah, Disney's been an asshole for years. They're doing all those live-action remakes of, like, their good shit and just, like, fucking up their good shit. Because I think they can make a buck. We'll make a buck here or there. I love how they casually release those live-action remakes, like, in between the Marvel movies. And so, these giant productions are so, like, I don't know, it's just scary how much they dominate the theaters these days. Yeah, I didn't watch Lion King. Fuck that. When Aladdin, did anyone watch Aladdin? And then there's Cruella de Vil and something else coming out, and there's like Maleficent 2 coming out. They try to make all the bad guys good. Yeah. Animation, there's a beauty to animation. And some stories can be better told through, like, cartoon. And they're fucking up, man. They're all that golden shit up. My friend watched Aladdin like 3 times. It can't be that good.
It can't be. I didn't hear a single thing about it. It's all these passive audiences that don't really have any critical thinking. I mean, not to say that they're dumb, but I feel like it's people who don't really care about film one way or the other that see these. I'm sure they're great at something. They have some craft. I'm sure they contribute to society. I'm sure they're fine. But I feel like the people who really go and soak up these movies like don't give a shit about movies, if that makes sense, you know? Dude, Atlantis and Treasure Planet, hell yeah! I would love to see those. I had the McDonald's toy of that pink blob that like floated around. I forget what his name is, but I had that toy forever, dude. I thought it was the shit. Wouldn't an animated sequel to each franchise be cheaper? Yeah, it would be, and it would be way cooler. Treasure Planet was good as fuck, dude. Oh man. Doctor Strange. Yeah, my dad liked Doctor Strange a lot because of the esoteric mysticism. Um, yeah, Doctor Strange is was a cool one. It won all those visual awards. The visual like busyness gets to me though. A lot of the like the I don't know those like crazy effects of Doctor Strange. It was just like it was just too much. It was too much for me. But yeah, it was one of the more interesting ones for sure. Princess and the Frog. Yeah, that was like their last thing. I have to kill this demon thing in my room. Be safe. Goink. I never watched Princess and the Frog. Honestly, I never watched Disney movies that much at all growing up. I mean, yeah, we watched like Lion King, and I don't know if is Iron Giant Disney. It feels like it might be, but maybe not. I don't know. You kind of assume all those big animated kids movies are Disney. What I mainly watched was Studio Ghibli movies, and I know those were like presented in America through Disney, but obviously Disney has nothing to do with it. Um, let's see what it was. Well, I guess Disney chose like the American dubs, the English dub voice actors, and they did a pretty good job with that. Yeah, Ghibli movies are like far superior to most of the Disney movies ever. Even like the classic Disney cartoons, I would prefer almost any Ghibli movie over those. Animation. Right. Yeah, Disney's. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Disney has no like no integrity. They just do whatever they think, and they're so quick to like fucking flip on the dime. If something did poorly, then they'll be like, all right, we'll do the complete opposite of that, right? And that's been evident through what they've been doing with Star Wars. It's so sad. They're spineless, but that's why they have a lot of money because they're like the hose of the creative world. They just do whatever they think people want. Oh man. When Marnie was there, I haven't seen that one. Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of the newer ones. The last one I saw was it was about like an aerospace engineer in World War One, and the main character was voiced in the English dub. It was voiced by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I forgot what it was called. It was pretty good, but I mean, all the pretty much anything by Miyazaki's golden, and Grave of the Fireflies, amazing. Yeah, I can't watch like the TV shows and shit. I can't watch like anime TV shows. But Ghibli is on a different level, and if people understand that, even Disney execs understand that. That's why they are so quick to do English dubs and make their mark on all those like Spirited Away and shit because they see that it has like universal appeal. Howl's Moving Castle, yeah, Howl's Moving Castle was great. That's like my go-to sick movie. Whenever I was feeling sick, took a day off, throw on Howl's Moving Castle. Attack on Titan. That's what I always hear, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Porco Rosso, I never watched because it's like a talking pig. Oh no. Okay, yeah. Porco Rosso was a pilot, right? No, I'm not talking about that. It was a human. It wasn't a Miyazaki movie. It was way more recent than that. I think it was called The Wind Rises. It wasn't by Miyazaki. It was alright though. It was pretty good. And then I remember The Secret World of Arietti was alright. That was a more recent one. It didn't have the soundtrack by what's his name, the guy that does all their music, but it was good. There was some French woman that did the soundtrack to Secret World of Arietti, but that one was fun. That was about like the what's that movie with like John Goodman, and it's like the shrunken people, the little people that like live in the house and they steal food and shit. It was like that. Cowboy Bebop. The music from Cowboy Bebop is good as fuck. I've never watched the series, but the music is really good. Yeah, the Cowboy Bebop jazz is like better than a lot of the modern jazz in the South these days. Oh man, never watched it because the planes were used for kamikaze. You never watched Wind Rises because of that? Hey, see you, Crab. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. The Borrowers. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, The Secret World of Arietti is like a retelling, an anime version of The Borrowers, kind of. Yes. Thank you. Then, of course, yeah, like Spirited Away, the masterpiece. Princess Mononoke is so good. I mean, growing up, Spirited Away was like up here, then Princess Mononoke, but like as I got older, that kind of, I don't know, it's really close, but I think, I don't know, I resonate a little bit more with Princess Mononoke now, just because I'm older, I think. Spirited Away is definitely like a coming of age story, so it makes sense that like we all loved it as kids, and I still love it. Still love it. It's amazing. But yeah, Princess Mononoke is definitely one of his more adult films, just in terms of like adult themes and so forth. But yeah, Grave of the Fireflies was really good. It wasn't Miyazaki. It was like from the early '80s. Really sad. Really, really good though. Really good. Very, very dark. There's no like I know when we talk about Ghibli movies, there's like magic and it's fun. And Grave of the Fireflies, there's no magic, there's no fun, but it's a good one. It was an anime version of Metropolis. Yes, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's called Metropolis, but I don't think it has anything to do with the original Metropolis movie. Yeah, it's about that android, that like blonde girl android. It's got kind of that Atomic Boy animation. What's that? Is that Atomic Boy? Who's that? You guys know what I'm talking about. He's got like that black hair and he's got like the jet boots. I don't know, but it's got that kind of like pre-anime. Astro Boy, thank you. Yeah, Atomic Boy, same thing. Yeah, Metropolis has a very like Astro Boy animation style. Goink, are you okay? What's happening? Is there a demon attacking you in your room? Are we still talking about? Is that what you're referring to? I haven't seen a Ghibli film yet. Oh, dude, it's a whole world of the one that the one that I know is supposed to be amazing that I haven't seen yet is Kiki's Delivery Service. Everyone loves that, and that's like the one I haven't seen yet that is universally loved, and I really want to see it. And another part of me really doesn't want to see it because I know that after I see that, that's like it for that golden era of Ghibli movies. And I saw Akira. Akira just made me sad. I gotta say. I'm not, the violence gets to me. The Princess Mononoke violence I can deal with. Because even the Ashitaka is very, like, cognizant and reflective of the violence in that one, which I love. I remember that Miyazaki even made a statement about how he hates, this got a bunch of flack, because, I mean, we love killing loads of people in our movies, but Miyazaki made a point about, like, how he doesn't like American films because there's all these like faceless, nameless people that were just like offing senselessly in all of our movies, and it's true. Like action movies, the heroes are these like mass murderers, and you don't think about it. But in a movie like Princess Mononoke, I remember there's this little skirmish that's happening in this town that he approaches, and there are these samurai that are coming after him, and he's like, "No, I don't want don't fuck with me. I just want to get out of here." And these like meathead samurai are fucking like they're shooting arrows at him, they're attacking him. So he like fires back and he kills these two samurai. And in the next scene, he's like super regretful of it. He's like, "Oh, I can't believe I had to kill those dudes. I feel so bad." I love because I don't know, dude. That just seems more human to me. I don't like it when there's like we're just like offing loads of people in movies. which we do in Star Wars and stuff, but right, the stormtroopers, you can't see their face, so it's like you don't think about it. But in Akira, tons of people die, and it's like really sad. They die in like awful ways. And I remember seeing it when I was really young. Max showed it to me when I was too young to. I shouldn't have watched it, but I was like 12 or something, and it was too sad. It was, I don't know. When there's violence at the point, if the point is strong enough, then I like it's okay. But there's a lot of senseless violence. I'll have to give it another watch. But I remember that movie like just put me in a bad mood for like a week. Yeah, conflicts usually carry a lot of significance. Yes, yeah. Yeah, and the whole point of Princess Mononoke is that he's trying to like stop this conflict too. They die because it's related to Hiroshima. It's an analogy. Okay, yeah, I didn't get that when I watched it the first time because I was 12. But yeah, he catches the arrow and he shoots it back, dude. It's so cool. It's so badass. Yeah, he is. Yeah. Oh my god, dude, I love Princess Mononoke. I gotta watch it again. I forgot about that. That's so sick because he has that like fucked up arm. It's just like it's so video gamey. That's like what's that movie? Or no, what's that game? The Prototype. When you have that like crazy arm. Ashitaka's like Prototype, dude. Yeah, no, I'm sure Akira's great. I'm the same way with like Tarantino movies. I can't watch those. Like I get that he's a good filmmaker objectively, but I can't sit through his movies. It's not that I'm like squeamish and stuff. It just really just makes me sad. Yeah, and I never played Prototype, but I just know he's got like a fucked up arm. It's a very, very video gamey idea. But yeah, like I remember my friends dragged me to see Hateful Eight, and like most of those characters in that movie are despicable, so like you don't really care one way or another. But then there's that. Do you care if I spoil Hateful Eight if you guys haven't seen it? No. What? I'm talking about Hateful Eight. All right, I'm just gonna talk about it. All right, mute it if all right if you haven't seen it. In Hateful Eight, there's like they're at a cabin, right? And there are bounty hunters and there are people being hunted. Oh, you want to see it, so maybe I shouldn't talk about it. But anyway, okay, in Tarantino movies, they're like innocent people that get killed, and no one has any remorse over it because everyone, like, I don't know. There's always like this air of like badassery when someone dies, like in all those Tarantino movies, and that just it's gross. I don't like it. I mean, I get that he makes films well in terms of like the craft, but the violence just puts me in a bad mood. I think there should be some. There's no time to. When characters take time to like bereave and reflect on death, like in Princess Mononoke, it's cool. I pretty much said already. Yeah, when there's senseless violence, or especially when there's senseless violence and there's like no no like reflection on it in any way. I don't know that it on one hand it just like it puts me in a bad mood. On the other hand, I think it's like unrealistic because coping with death is I don't know, an important aspect of human nature. Oh right, he's renowned for okay yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's weird. Kind of creepy. I think his whole cinematic track record is just an excuse to film that. Right, the general consensus of his fetish. No, he's a creepy dude. He's a fucking creepy guy. I mean, I know. I want to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's supposed to be really, really, really good. But yeah, and his violence is always like way over the top. He's like cutting off brains and shit. It's like, oh god, I don't know. It's just I don't know, man. Violence is funny in video games because well, these days like the Red Dead Redemption 2 violence. I remember that kind of like that was a little realistic for me. But like Oblivion violence and shit, that's so unbelievable that it's hilarious, right? But I don't know. Film violence is. I know that his violence is ridiculous, but it's ridiculous in a different way. Um, yeah, dude. I don't know. But again, he like you can tell that like in interviews with him, he's another guy that like he can detach himself from the world of whatever film he's making. So it's kind of funny for him, and I get it. I think it's funny for him in the same way that like Oblivion ragdoll effects are funny for me. But I can't do that. Like I could have fully immersed myself in whatever I'm watching. So when shit like that goes down, it just kind of like makes me uncomfortable and takes me out of it. Oblivion violence is just Oblivion is like every humanoid in the world is like an action figure. You know, it's just like none of it's so constantly apparent that like none of it's real. That all of it's just so funny. Lucian and the Chance's Body. That one's the one that really creeped me out though. I mean, they always have like this like scary mangled corpse scene in the Brotherhood quest lines. The Astrid one in Skyrim really freaked me out because she's like still alive. She's like this shriveled corpse, but she's still like barely talking to you. That was intense, dude. That one really freaked me out because you're not expecting it, right? Like, yeah, the Elder Scrolls games are like adventure fantasy stuff, so you're not expecting that like terrifying shit, and that makes it more scary. They literally act so cheery around him, just staring at him there. Yeah, no. Oh man, yeah. The zombies in Oblivion, the zombies in Ocarina of Time scared the shit out of me. I read The Road. The Road was a very good book. I haven't seen the movie. I'll just check it out though. Yeah, but the book was beautiful. I've been on and off reading Blood Meridian, which is similar to The Road in terms of it's like these emaciated survivalists, but it's an old Western one. The Lighthouse Quest in Skyrim. I forgot about the Lighthouse Quest. Speaking of the DB in Skyrim, the Night Mother's Body kind of creeps me out. Oh yeah, when you have to go in the coffin with her? Yeah, they do a good job making you feel uncomfortable in the Brotherhood questline. Kvatch. Kvatch didn't creep me out. I don't know why. Stuff rarely, like, legitimately creeps me out. The Astrid thing did creep me out, though, just because like, you weren't expecting it. I don't know. That one was weird. Oh, you did a lot of side quests before you reached Kvatch. That I can see. Because you're like used to everything being one way, and then it's a house where Charis kidnapped the family. Oh, I don't even know if I played that quest. Yeah, Kvatch happened way too fast for me. Last time I tried to play through Kvatch was like a month ago, and I got to the part where you're supposed to open the gate, and I couldn't like find where to remotely open the gate to the castle, and I just like stopped. And then I was walking back and forth around Kvatch so much that I just realized how like empty and depressing it was. It became so fucking ready. Yeah. All right, peace out, dude. I think I'm gonna dip soon too. It's been a long stream. It's been a fun stream. I appreciate you guys. I do ultimately want to play games on here, but realistically, it's probably not going to happen for a while. So, bear with me if you just want to talk. Oh, tropical baby, love you. But yeah, I mean, if you see me online, and then you can come in and we'll chat. That's what this is about. We're just chilling. We're shooting the shit. Oh man, Troppy Poo, great man. All right, love you all. Oh, green baby. It's all right. I'll be streaming at another point. Make sure to follow whatever you do on Twitch. Yeah, follow me, and I'll be streaming again. Yeah, it was fun talking to you guys too. Love you all. I'll see you around.